saw our test ship standing there with nobody around us and hopped right off in it.
Look there.
Huh?
They must have used one of those little air roadsters there to fly over here.
Unless they all belong to the workmen out here.
They certainly couldn't have walked out here in such a short time.
Well, come along anyway.
Well, where to, Doctor?
We'll take one of these little roadsters and go back to my laboratory.
Okay, come on.
You think there's some connection between this business of the stolen rocket ship and the report about the ransacking of your laboratory?
Exactly. Get in, Wilma.
Right.
Go ahead, Doctor. I'll take the controls.
Thank you. All ready, Buck?
Here we go.
Now, we may all be a little excited over the events of the past few minutes, but it's necessary that we take stock of the situation as calmly as possible and decide what we're going to do.
Good idea. The first thing that smacked of trouble was the call from Central Radio Bureau, saying someone had broken into your laboratory right after we'd left it.
Yes. Right on top of that came word of Cain and Ardela's escape.
Yes. Immediately afterward, our experimental rocket ship took off right in front of our faces.
Then it's easy enough to figure out. Cain and Ardela broke out of prison, ransacked your laboratory for whatever equipment they could get hold of, raced over to the spaceport, and made a quick takeoff.
Sounds logical enough to me.
I still don't see how they covered so much ground in such a short space of time.
All depends on how long they were free before they were missed, Doctor.
Yes. Well, we'll find out when we reach my laboratory if the rocket police is still there.
Right. But I wonder what happened to Black Barney. He and Willie were going to meet us at the spaceport.
Well, Willie, it looks like this new invention of Dr. Yours on this here new test ship don't work.
Yes, sir, Mr. Barney. I guess you're right, all right.
Sure. I got all the power on she'll take, and we ain't even begun to move yet.
What it was supposed to do was let us take off and be going 1,000 miles an hour right away, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, take a look out of the Matilla glass window and see if Lieutenant Wilmer and Captain Rogers and Dr. Ure are coming out of the spaceport office to get into this here thing.
Yes, sir.
Well, are they coming, Willie? Or did the big rocket blast scare them away? Well, what is it? What about it? Why don't you answer me?
Mr. Barney.
Willie, what's the matter? You look like you just saw a ghost.
Look out of the window, Mr. Barney.
Huh? Sure. Huh? Hey, Willie!
You're a couple of 100 miles below us.
But we didn't take off. You hear me? We didn't take off.
Must be Dr. Ewer's invention. That's what did it.
Oh, but it couldn't be on account of we didn't take off, I tell you. Yeah, that's what it is, sure.
Oh, that's wonderful. Certainly had me scared for a minute, though.
Yeah, me too. Why, Willie, you mustn't let a little thing like that scare you. And don't you see? What we're doing is making the first official drying-out trip of the first rocket ship that was ever equipped with this new gyro thing.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, and we're saving them all the trouble of having to try it out.
I thought you said you wanted to take off in it before they could, so there wouldn't be any danger for them.
Yeah, that's right. For me and you to try it out is all okay on account of if it didn't work and the whole place blew up, it wouldn't make no difference. But I wouldn't want Lieutenant Wilmer, Captain Rogers, or Dr. Ure to take no chances with something new like this. So that's why we done it.
Boy, certainly a great invention. How does it work?
Well, there's a lot of technical things about it I'm afraid you wouldn't understand, Willie.
Well, I can try to understand, Mr. Barney. Tell me.
Okay. Now, this here is a machine bolted down right here.
Uh-huh.
And the stuff on the side of it here is some kind of electric cells.
Photoelectric cells.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
But what are all these gears for?
Willie, that's what they call a sort of protono, hypnoto, deuterono, teleradio, and all that sort of stuff.
Huh?
You see, the gyro-Thomas stuff on the super-neutron goes around the ultra-hyper thing that's connected with the physics elementary connection.
Yeah, but whoever ransacked this laboratory of mine certainly made a good job of it.
Yes, but Dr. Hewer,
Yes, Wilma?
where are the rocket police? Aren't they going to wait here for us?
Oh, here's your answer, Wilmer.
Yes?
What is it, Buck?
A note from their captain. Here's...
Oh, Dr. Hewer. I've just received word of Kane Ardale break from municipal prison. Believe that to be a logical place for us to center activities. Signed, Captain Barton. And to be honest with you, I'm glad that they aren't here.
Why do you say that, Doctor?
It'd be much easier for just the three of us to look around here and see what's been taken.
That's true. Well, where do we start?
Calling Dr.
That cosmic radio.
It's Black Barney calling.
I'll take it.
I wonder where he can be calling from.
Well, Barney, this is Dr. Hewer.
Calling Dr. Hewer.
Well, yes, this is Dr. Hewer.
Well, Doctor, what do you think of me and Willie saving you folks a lot of risk and trouble, huh?
Where are you, Barney, and what are you doing?
Don't you know?
No, of course not.
Well, then guess. I dare you.
No, Barney, you tell me.
Why, Doctor, me and Willie's flying around up here in space trying out the new gyro thing of yours.
What?
Nothing.
You mean you're in the test ship we had waiting for us at the spaceport?
Sure.
Oh, but Barney, how...
Well, we figured the best way to keep you folks from risking yourselves by taking off with this new contraption was for us to do it.
Thank goodness it wasn't Kane and Ardale.
Barney,
Yeah?
is everything all right? No trouble?
No, sir. The ship works fine. Of course, it took me and Willie a couple of minutes or two to get it all organized out.
How do you mean?
Well, when I first turned on the power, we didn't feel the ship moving under us. It was just the same thing as though we had the rocket power on, only we didn't have it on. Just like we was being held down by a big rope or stuff. But at the same time, we could hear the motors roaring.
Splendid. Then the new gyrocosmic relativator works perfectly.
Oh, good for you, Doctor.
Sure, Doctor, it works fine.
How about navigation with it? Any difference?
Oh, not a bit of difference, Doctor.
Well, then, even if you did deprive us of the privilege of making the first test with it, I'm mighty gratified to know the new gyrocosmic relativator works all right. And now...
Listen, Doctor.
Yes?
Would you please kind of do me a personal favor?
What is it, Barney?
Will you please say the name of this thing over again?
Well, surely.
You see, I started explaining it all out to Willie here.
Yes.
And when I come to telling him its name, it kind of slipped my mind. You know how it is, Doctor. I always got so many important things to think about all the time that them little details kind of slipped my mind.
Poor old Barney.
So if you don't mind, would you say it for me just one more, please?
Barney, it's a gyrocosmic relativator.
You hear that, Willie?
Yes, sir. Gyrocosmic relativator.
That's it.
You see, Doctor, didn't I always tell you that my Willie was going to be a great man someday? And that proved it.
Well, now, Barney,
Yeah?
we're having a little trouble down here, and we're badly in need of that ship you're in.
No kidding, Doctor.
Yes. And here's what I want you to do.
Yeah?
Cut off the power right away.
Yes, sir. There. Power's off, Doctor.
Good. Now, just as soon as we've finished talking, face that ship you're in around and head back for Earth just as fast as you safely can. We'll be waiting for you at the Central Spaceport.
Okay, Doctor. We'll turn back on the power again and head back for Earth as fast as we can. But would you mind telling me what the trouble is?
Killer Kane.
Kane?
Yes. He and Ardale have escaped.
Say, that's awful.
That's why we need the rocket ship with the relevator.
Well, Doctor, we'll head right back again.
All right, Barney. Signing off.
Sir, signing off. You hear that, Willie?
Yes, sir. Pretty serious, isn't it?
Of course it is. And I guess they don't only need a rocket ship down there.
Huh?
They probably need me, too. When people like Kane and Ardale get loose, Willie, there's going to be a lot of trouble.
Well, then, let's get started back to Earth.
Yes, sir. Hang on for power. Yes, sir. Everywhere they go, there's trouble.
You know it.
Killer Kane's dangerous. Very, very dangerous.
Yes, sir.
Why, if he was to see you coming at him, he'd like as not pull out a rocket pistol or a disintegrator and Bluey, where are you?
Oh, you aren't afraid of him, are you, Mr. Barney?
Oh, me?
Yes, sir.
Course I ain't. Me afraid of Killer Kane. That's a good big joke, that is.
Well, Barney,
Huh?
I can't tell you how glad I am to know that.
Now, listen, you must...
Exactly right, Willie.
Could be.
Killer Kane. Well, with Kane right there aboard Black Barney's rocket ship, things don't look so good. But you're looking pretty good, Popsicle Pete. And where's that song you wrote?
Gosh, I can't sing for all these people.
Oh, sure you can. Go ahead. They're all your pals.
All right, here goes. Popsicle, popsicle, fresh fruit ices on a stick. They're so good and they're so big. Popsicle, popsicle, save the bags and get a gift with popsicle.
Well, that was perfectly terrific, Pete. And everybody loves popsicles. Those great big fresh fruit ices on a handy stick. And the bags are just as good as money for wonderful free gifts. Popsicles are made fresh every day from fine, wholesome ingredients. Doesn't it make your mouth water just to think how good they taste in all those fresh fruit flavors and how long they last? The best, biggest nickel's worth anywhere.
And don't forget, fellas and girls, save those bags from Popsicle, Fudgicle, and Creamsicle. And get those free presents. A camera, a wristwatch, jewelry, fishing tackle, hundreds of swell gifts. You'd better save bags every day.
The Air Adventures of Jimmy Allen. And now on with Jimmy Allen's Air Adventures. Jimmy has been hoping against hope he will be accepted by the Monsoon Company to fly their entry in the annual transcontinental race for the Vanderpool Trophy. Speed Robertson, famed airmail and racing pilot, recommended his chum to the Monsoon officials. They replied, asking Jimmy to report at once to their factory, prepared to fly the Monsoon 800 in the race. With a few words of encouragement from Speed, the young pilot hurried east to take his first big flying assignment. Now we find ourselves in the office of Mr. E.J. Thompson, president of the Monsoon Aircraft Engine Company. He has just called for his chief engineer, Bill Whitehead, designer of the Monsoon 800.
Come in.
You sent for me, Mr. Thompson?
Yes, Bill, I did. Have a chair.
Yes, sir.
Well, how's the race job coming along?
Oh, it's all set, Chief. Our boys have checked over everything. All we need now is a pilot to fly it.
How's the engine turn up, Bill?
Oh, it's great. Shows 1,800 on the box, and with the prop set the way it is, we wouldn't want anything better.
Well, I'm very glad to hear that. We're right up against the deadline anyway. Because we're not giving our pilot much time to run any tests he might consider necessary.
We've given this engine every possible test that I ever heard of, Chief. We've ran it on the blocks for 500 hours without stopping. We've checked it with all kinds of fuel, run it in cold temperatures and scorching hot weather.
I know that, Bill. It's the strongest piece of machinery that has ever hung in an airplane.
Yes, and it has power, too, E.J. Well, look at that dynamometer test we made. I'll bet in all of your experience in engine building, you never saw such power developed for the weight.
Yeah, you're right. It has power. Worlds of power. And believe me, that's what it takes in these modern racing planes. The most conservative estimate that we have made public shows 800 horsepower.
Ah, you're too modest, Chief. I always said that. Now, sir, this Monsoon, when she's winding up around 2,400 and with that supercharger in her, well, she's kicking up so close to 1,000 horsepower that It just isn't fun.
Bill, that's the sweetest music I ever listened to. Those 18 cylinders barking out a symphony of thundering power. I'll tell you, there's nothing like it in the world.
That's right. You can't beat it.
Well, here I am going off somewhere on a tangent. Let's get down to business. We haven't much time. You're perfectly satisfied with the job, are you, Bill?
I really am, Chief, yes. Bring on your pilot.
Fine. Our pilot will be here in a minute. He just arrived in town and phoned me. He's on his way out here now.
Well, sir, we'll turn over a great airplane to him and a wonderful engine. I don't think there'd be anything in that race that can touch it.
Well, I hope you're right, Bill. But I'm wondering.
You mean about the ship?
Yeah. I'm wondering if it is the fastest job in that race.
What makes you say that, Chief?
Well, there are 12 entries in that race, including our own. 11 without us. Well, that 11, there are 9 that don't bother me at all. Good ships, yeah. Good engines. And they'll be flown by crack pilots. But they're not in the same class with our job.
I agree with you there, E.J. We've just too much speed and power for them.
But there are 2 airplanes in this race, Bill, that I am worried about. I don't mind telling you that I've had a few sleepless nights thinking about those 2 ships.
I guess I know the 2 you mean, all right. Speed Robertson's Bluebird Special and the Mercury Mystery Ship.
I guess you've been thinking a little about them, too, eh?
Well, Chief, it'd be okay with me if they weren't in the race, I can tell you that.
Well, I don't feel that way about it, Bill. Naturally, I want our ship to win. It's got to win. But we don't want an empty victory. We want to beat the best in the country.
And you're wondering if our job is the best, huh?
Speed Robertson is a brand new ship with lots of power. And anything Speed has is going to be fast. Very fast. And he's the greatest racing pilot that ever slipped on a pair of golfers. I wish we had him.
There's no getting around that, E.J. It's my opinion that if we can beat Speed, we'll win this race.
Well, I'm not so sure. Don't underrate this mystery ship.
I haven't been able to get much dope on it.
Well, Mercury people have developed a new engine similar to ours. They'll have it in this new ship of theirs. And, Bill, they'll move heaven and earth to win.
Chief, I've spent 2 years developing this new engine of ours, and the Monsoon Company has a lot of money invested in it. It's the greatest aircraft motor in the world today.
I know, Bill. I believe every word you say. You've done a remarkable piece of work. I don't think the Mercury Company can build the same quality of engine you do. They just don't put the care and workmanship into their product. Their engines don't stand up like ours. The records prove that. But, Bill, they have some smart men in that company, and a lot of money back of it. And as I just told you, they'll leave no stone unturned to win the Vanderpool Cup.
Mm-hmm. They're a tricky bunch, too. You know that as well as I.
Bill, I'm going to tell you something in the strictest confidence. It's something I learned just recently, but I kept it to myself. Because I didn't want to bother you with business matters while you were busy working on the ship.
Well, go ahead, Chief. Anything you tell me won't go any further.
It's of the utmost importance that our monsoon engine wins the Vanderpool Trophy. And I'll tell you why. The officials of National Airways are going to place an order for 500 new aircraft engines.
Yeah?
They must do this to meet the faster airmail schedules required by the government. And they're waiting to see what engine stands up under the grueling test of the transcontinental race.
Well, you mean the engine that comes in first will be the engine they buy?
That's exactly what it amounts to. The engine that brings victory to the manufacturer will also bring it an order for enough engines to keep its plant busy for 2 years.
Right. George, Chief, that really means something.
Well, that isn't all. You realize, of course, how business has been the last couple of years.
There just hasn't been any.
It's cost us a lot of money to develop this Monsoon 800. And, Bill, if we don't get that airline order, well, we'll just have to close our doors.
Is it really that bad?
I'm sorry, Bill, but it is. There's no use closing our eyes to the situation.
Well, I can see only one answer to that, Chief. Our pilot absolutely has to win the Vanderpool Cup.
It's a tough spot for this young Allen. In fact, the situation is so grave, I don't want him to know all the facts. It might affect his flying, get to worrying about it.
But is he the pilot for us, E.J.? You know, it seems to me that in a situation as critical as this, we ought to have an older man. A pilot with more experience. After all, this Jimmy Allen is just a kid with little or no racing experience that I know of.
I realize that. To be quite frank, I know very little about him myself. When we couldn't get Speed Robertson, I asked him to recommend a pilot who could get every last foot of speed out of our ship. And he wired back that he considered Allen capable of handling the job.
Speed Robertson ought to know. If he says a pilot will give us his very best. Well, say, Chief, you don't suppose... well, what I mean is that Speed Robertson is out to win this race himself.
I know what you're getting at, Bill. Well, don't ever think that. Speed Robertson is as fine and true a friend as I've ever had. And he's honest and sincere. A square shooter there ever was one. If he says Jimmy Allen can do the job, well, that's good enough for me.
I hope he's right. Well, say, who's flying this Mercury mystery ship?
Well, now there's something that worries me. I understand they've hired Wings Wagner to fly it.
Wings Wagner. He nearly beat out Speed Robertson in the race last year, didn't he?
Right. Wagner's a good pilot. In fact, Speed Robertson's the only man that ever could beat him.
I'll say he's a good pilot. Nobody ever questioned that.
Yeah, but that isn't all, Bill. I don't like Wagner. Never have. I don't like that shifty look in his eye. And there's another thing I don't like about him.
What's that, E.J.?
I don't like the idea of his flying that mystery ship. Wagner will do anything to win a race.
And the Mercury crowd wouldn't ask any questions either.
It's a bad combination. They want to win the race the worst way. And believe me, Wings would just soon win it the worst way as the right way.
Well, I'll tell you right now that whoever wins this race will know he's been through a battle.
Yeah. Speed Robertson had better keep his eyes open. Because Wagner's out to get him this year.
What does he have against Speed, Chief? I mean, outside of being beaten by him.
Speed caught him in some crooked work in the race last year. And threatened to give him a good thrashing if he ever caught him pulling any phony stuff again.
Yeah, and he'd do it, too.
Oh? Yeah, Thompson speaking. Oh, yeah, send him right in, please. Well, here's young Allen now. We'll have a chance to see what he looks like.
How do you do, sir? Are you Mr. Thompson?
Yes. You must be Jimmy Allen. Well, I'm glad to have you here, Allen. Let me introduce our chief engineer, Bill Whitehead.
I'm glad to meet you, Mr. Whitehead.
I'm glad to know you, Allen.
Take this chair here, Allen.
Thank you, sir.
We don't have much time to visit, but I guess you're rather anxious to get a look at the ship.
Yes, Mr. Thompson, I am. What Speed Robertson tells me, it's a wonderful airplane with a powerful new engine you people have developed.
We think we have a good ship. We hope we found a good pilot.
Mr. Thompson, I'm anxious to fly your ship in the Vanderpool Cup race. In fact, I've never wanted anything more in my life. But on the other hand, I'm a stranger to you. And I want you to understand that I don't consider myself in the same class as Speed Robertson and some of those other racing pilots. I haven't had the experience they've had.
You mean that you feel a little hesitant about flying our ship?
No, sir, I don't mean that. I can fly the job, and I'll get everything out of it as possible. But I don't want you to be under the impression that I'm, well, an old hand at this game.
Well, we understand from Mr. Robertson that your experience in racing has been limited.
Alan, have you had much time on high-powered racing ships?
No, I haven't, Mr. Whitehead. Speed Robertson taught me to fly and showed me how to navigate. He let me put in a few hours on his new Bluebird racer.
This is a tough race, Alan. You're up against the best pilots in the country and the fastest airplanes. Your inability to fly in a little bad weather or a small error in navigation might cost you the race.
I realize that, sir. But the same holds true for the other pilots.
We confidently believe that we have the best job that'll go to the starting line. Our engine is rugged and has a world of power, and monsoon engines have always been famed for their reliability. Mr. Allen, we want you to fly a fair and square race, but the Monsoon 800 has got to win.
Mr. Thompson, I can't make any promises about winning a race. Too many things can happen between the start and the finish. But I can promise you two things. I'll work day and night and give you everything I have.
Well, that's all anyone can expect. What's the other promise?
That I'll fly a fair and square race. If I can't win that way, I don't want to win at all.
Well, that's the way I like to hear you talk. It's a bargain. Now, I want you to go out and look over the ship. You'll find Rags Johnson, your mechanic, working on it now. Bill, have one of the boys taking Allen out the ship.
Okay, Chief.
Thanks, Mr. Thompson.
Harry, show Mr. Allen here out to a race job, will you?
Yes, sir.
What do you think of our young pilot, Bill?
I like that kid. I like the way he looks you straight in the eye. Chief, I'm putting my money on Jimmy Allen to come through. Well, it looks as though Jimmy has taken on a man-sized job. Can he handle the powerful Monsoon 800 racing ship? Join us in the next air adventure of Jimmy Allen.
Network presents The Adventures of the Sea Hound with Captain Silver and Jerry. While Captain Silver outlined his plans to learn how the Indians in the jungles of Ecuador make their mysterious drug curare, Jerry was mighty uneasy. In fact, the red-haired boy who had just joined the crew of the Sea Hound broke in on the captain's story with the bold statement that a spy was among those present. Jerry accused the Chinese scholar called Kukai. He based his accusation on the fact that he had seen Kukai make secret entries in a black notebook. Kukai had certainly acted guilty when he found that Jerry had seen him. For a minute, it looked as if Jerry was right. Then Kukai produced the book. It was a very careful account of the captain's life from the time he was a little boy. Kukai was embarrassed by this evidence of his loyalty and devotion, but Jerry felt mighty silly when the truth came out. Then an urgent call for the captain came from the deck. A girl stood there. Her clothes were dripping wet, her face flushed with excitement. But the thing that caught the eye of Captain Silver was the water-soaked envelope in her hand.
I must speak to Captain Silver, alone.
Captain Silver knew the importance of that letter. It should have been delivered in Guayaquil. Instead, it was here on the Sea Hound. The only sign of the tense suppression of the captain's emotions was a thoughtful...
We'll go below, down that companionway.
Yes, sir.
It'll be warmer in the cabin. First door on the right.
You are Captain Silver, aren't you?
That's what I'm called.
This door?
Right.
Oh, what a cozy cabin this is.
Here's a jacket. Pull it over your shoulders.
Thank you. You've seen this letter before?
I gave it to a skipper who was taken aboard the Santa Lucia. It should be delivered in Guayaquil before night.
Well, it won't be.
How did you get that letter?
I stole it. Please don't look at me like that. I had to. You see, this letter's addressed to my father.
Your father? I spent some time with your father in Guayaquil a year ago.
Yes, I remember. He wrote me about it.
I saw nothing of you.
Well, I was in Washington. Father had spent years there as a consul, and he wanted me to study there. Oh, believe me, Captain Silver, I'm telling the truth.
You just happened to be on board the Santa Lucia?
No, but let me explain. It wasn't coincidence that the Santa Lucia met you. Father had the boat sent out to find you, if possible. I was on board because Father knew he could trust me.
Go on.
Well, there's been so much intrigue in Ecuador. You know Father's position. He's influential. Well, there's been all manner of pressure brought against him. Japanese agents, German representatives, other men from other nations. And they all try to damage the friendship between the United States and Ecuador. Now there's so few whom Father can trust.
You said Senor Lopez ordered the Santa Lucia out to meet us?
Yes.
Why?
Well, you were going to meet my father.
I was.
And this letter was to verify the appointment.
Yes.
Well, if it had been taken to our home, Father would not have seen it. He isn't at home. He's practically in hiding.
Where?
Well, I can't tell you. I wanted to speak to you while you were transferring the men from the Mary Jane to the Santa Lucia, but I didn't have the chance.
I didn't see you on board the Santa Lucia.
No, and for a very good reason. Someone locked me in my cabin.
Locked you in?
I don't know who it was, but when I tried to leave, I found the door locked. I tried to shout from the porthole, but it was on the wrong side. And then after we'd pulled away, the door was unlocked as mysteriously as it had been locked.
Have you any idea who did it?
No, but it might have been any one of a dozen men. There's no use going into detail about the way I learned of the letter. Father told me to use what judgment I had. I took the letter and then watched for a chance to slip over the stern of the Santa Lucia. We had a small powerboat behind, and I cut the painter, started the motor, and came back.
You took a long chance, Miss Lopez. The Sea Hound's a small dot on the open sea.
Oh, it was clear. I sighted you a long way off.
Where's the motorboat now?
Oh, gone, I guess.
Gone?
Well, I had
Where?
the throttle opened wide, and when I came abreast, I dived off the motorboat and swam to the Sea Hound. The motorboat kept going. If it is found, perhaps the spies, whoever they are, will think I've drowned.
Why didn't you simply come alongside and let it go at that?
Father told me I shouldn't put you in jeopardy. He made that emphatic. No matter what happens to him or to me, he said, you must be protected.
He has a rather poor sense of values. Your father is one of the most important men in Ecuador.
He'd be grateful if he heard you say that. But you see, Captain Silver, if I had pulled alongside, you'd have towed the powerboat behind the Sea Hound.
And why not?
Well, if it had been seen by our enemies, they'd know you'd taken me on board. And then they'd know that you're helping Father, and they'd fight you as they're fighting him.
How would they see it? I didn't plan to put in at Guayaquil.
Oh, Captain Silver, it might have been seen on the high sea. Seen by enemies that were invisible to you.
How?
By enemies in a submarine.
Has there been evidence of submarine activity around here?
Yes, definitely.
I see.
And if they had the slightest reason to suspect you, they'd fire without warning.
Suspect me of what?
Well, if they knew that you're the one that Father counts on so heavily to help.
To help?
Oh, you know what I mean. Father didn't tell me very much about the man who went into the jungle, but I do know there is a doctor there. A doctor whose research is going to be terribly important. You're the man who's going to meet him. Well, the enemy wants to meet him, too. Oh, don't test me any further. Accept what I've told you is the truth. Father's waiting for you, and I'm to take you to him.
Where?
Well, I'll have to go with you. He said there would be a small boat on the Sea Hound.
There is.
Well, we'll have to use it tonight after dark and go to a place on the south coast of the harbor, south of Guayaquil. Father's to be there waiting for us. You do believe me?
I'll have Kukai find some dry clothing for you. He'll bring it to you in a moment.
Thank you.
Kukai!
Yes, sir, Captain. Text on deck tells how girl leaped from passing motorboat and swam with skill to side of Sea Hound.
Yes, she's told me about that, Kukai. She's Maria Lopez, the daughter of our friend.
He who respects the state as his own person is fit to govern it. He who loves the state as his own body is fit to be entrusted with it. Such a man is Senor Lopez.
Lopez is in danger. He's had to go into hiding. I'm going to have the spray hound lowered and go ashore with the girl. She's going to take me to her father's hiding place.
You are quite sure, sir, this girl is all she claims to be?
I know what she told me.
I heard some of conversation.
I thought you would.
Girl may lead you into a trap. On the other hand, girl may lead way to a meeting with the Senor Lopez. One must take risk. He who rejects iron cannot make steel.
Oh, yes. That's from Hang See's sacred edict.
For daughter of Spanish family, girl's English is well spoken.
That's why I think she's telling the truth. If spies sent someone to pose as the daughter of Senor Lopez, they would have had her speak anything but good English. This girl was in Washington when she was a child. Her father was there then. She went back to Washington to college. She probably speaks English better than Spanish. Now, find some clothes she can wear and take them to her. I'll have a look at the spray hound and make sure everything is ready for our trip tonight.
I have clothing ready.
I guess you heard everything that was said.
The spray hound was a small, fast auxiliary sea skiff carried by the Sea Hound. Captain Silver designed the craft himself and knew just what she could do. Jerry came to his side as he checked gas and oil and made sure everything was ready.
We might have a chase before we get back.
Gee, I wish I was going with you.
Not this time, Jerry.
When'll you be back? Sometime manana?
What did you say?
Manana. That's Spanish. It means tomorrow.
Don't try that on anyone in Ecuador, Jerry.
Why not? They speak Spanish, don't they?
Yes, but you don't.
Oh, but I read that.
There was a little mark over the first N when you pronounced it, when you read that, wasn't there?
Marked like the letter S on its side?
Yeah, that's right. I showed it to Tex and asked him what it was.
Tex wouldn't know.
He called it the Lazy S.
The Lazy S. Tex would call it that. Someday I'm going to have to take his cowboy stories away from him and see that he gets different reading. That little mark, Jerry, is called a tilde.
Tilde?
Yes. It changes the sound of the letter N.
Oh.
It gives the letter N the sound of NY. Instead of saying manana, you should say mañana.
Mañana.
Yeah, that's more like it. Now you're on the course again.
Mañana. Gee, I'm glad I got that straight before I went out on a reef.
Then you can say hasta mañana.
Hasta mañana? Well, what's that mean?
Until tomorrow. Oh, well, you might say it means goodbye or so long. I'll see you soon.
Gee, I wonder how long it'll take me to learn to speak Spanish.
Not very long. Anyone who can learn to speak English can certainly learn Spanish. A lot more regular. There now. I guess everything is checked.
And Kukai went over the spray hound a short time ago.
I know. I just thought I'd give her another going over while Kukai is taking the girls some dry clothing.
Captain Silver, look at Tex. He's got something on his mind.
Yeah. Stay here, Jerry. I'll see what he wants.
Below deck, Kukai knocked at the captain's cabin.
Come in. Oh, you must be Kukai.
Yes, miss, please. An order from Captain. Dry clothing is brought.
Oh, thank you.
Former owner of clothing was boy with red hair. Please accept apology for limitation which makes boys' clothing necessary in replacement of wet attire.
Oh, these things will be fine, thank you.
Yes, missy.
Oh, wait, Kukai.
Yes, missy?
Did Captain Silver believe me? Does he trust me? It's so important, and well, he looks at me so strangely. I felt that I didn't speak very convincingly. I wonder if he thought I was trying to lead him into some kind of a trap.
True words are seldom fine. Fine words are often untrue.
You mean that he...
The captain is preparing small boat for trip in darkness of night.
Oh, thank goodness.
Kukai, come here.
Yes, Captain, sir. Come. I come.
Kukai, get up on deck. Keep things under control.
Yes, sir.
No shots are to be fired.
Yes, sir.
Don't take a pistol. Put Tex at the wheel and dodge if you see a torpedo's wake.
Yes, sir.
Heave to if ordered. I'm going to wireless room.
Yes, sir. Aye, sir.
Order Jepson and Jerry below. Keep them off the deck.
I will, sir.
No resistance under any circumstances. If they want to board us, let them. I'll handle things when I finish on the radio.
Has enemy been sighted?
I don't know about an enemy, but Tex has sighted a periscope off our port side.
Well, I'm the one they want.
You'll get back into that cabin. Get into the dry clothes.
No, let me go on deck where I can be seen. I'll surrender to them.
You'll do nothing of the sort.
If I don't, they're likely to fire without warning. My father told me to protect you.
I don't care what your father told you. I'm giving orders here. On deck, Kukai.
Aye, sir.
And you to the cabin.
I won't.
All right, then, to the wireless room with me.
Let me go. Put me down, Captain Silver. Let me go. The submarine will sink you
If that submarine doesn't fire within the next 2 minutes, it won't fire at all.
Well, what about that periscope? Is the Sea Hound going to face gunfire from a submarine? Or even worse, the shattering force of a heavy torpedo? A lot can happen in just 2 minutes. Tomorrow you learn how Captain Silver used a radio to drive a submarine into hiding. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at this same time for The Adventures of the Sea Hound. Until tomorrow, then, Captain Silver says,
smooth sailing.
The Adventures of the Sea Hound, directed by Fred Way, come to you from New York. You're listening to the Blue Network.
And now it's time for the further adventures of Big John and Sparky. Today's chapter is entitled, A Mysterious Man in the Shack. Springtime in Cincinnati, Ohio is one of the most pleasant times of the year, but you know, the weather is very unpredictable. Just the other day, Sparky and I and the mayor were caught in a snowstorm when we went out to fly a kite, of all things. Yes, the weather can be nice and beautiful and spring-like one moment, and just in a matter of minutes, it's changed and it's cold or blustery. Today, as we open the chapter, Sparky and I are in our living room, in our little house, all the way up the next block in Cincinnati.
Oh, boy, Big John, it sure is lonesome around here today.
Well, for once, I have to agree with you. It is lonesome around here with both Mayor Plumfront and Yuki Butcher not being in town.
What do you think we ought to do to keep from just getting bored to death?
I don't know. You got any ideas?
Hey, I know. You want to go back to Wobbleding's Woods with me and fly my kite?
Fly a kite? No, thanks. I had enough kite flying the other day. No kite flying for me, buddy.
Well, hey, I know. Do you want to take Bunny for a walk back in Wobbleding's Woods? It's a nice day. Want to, Big John?
Take a walk in the woods? Well, now, that sounds like a good idea. First, though, let me take a look at the sky out there. I want to make sure the weather doesn't change like it did the other day.
Oh, it's real nice outside. Just take a look out the window. You can see. See how nice and clear and blue the sky is?
Yeah, say it is a pretty day. Of course, it was just as pretty as this the other day when we went out to fly your kite, and we were out more than a half an hour, and it started to rain, got cold, even snowed. I don't know.
Come on, Big John. It won't rain today. Come on.
Well, I won't take any chances. How's the temperature outside?
I heard the man on the radio say it was 63, I think. That's warm.
Well, okay, I guess it'll stay nice. The other day was just unusual. I'll go get my jacket and my hat and... Listen, by the way, you're not going outside without your cap, are you?
Don't worry. I'll wear my beanie, and I'll wear the jacket that all the guys on our team got last year for winning the championship in the Knot-Hole Baseball League.
Fine.
Now, can Bunny go along too, Big John?
Sure, Bunny likes to go outside once in a while, too. Go on down to the basement and get him, huh?
Okay, Big John, okay. Okay, buddy. Okay, old buddy boy, you're going bye-bye. Come on, buddy. Come on. Stop jumping up on me like that. Come on, let me get up the steps there. Come on. Big John. Hey, Big John, buddy won't let me come up the steps.
Oh, that dog. Bunny, come on up here. Here, Bunny. Come on, we're going to take a walk out in Wobbleding's Woods.
That did it. There he comes.
Boy, Bunny, there's one thing you like to do. That's take a walk. All right, now stop jumping up and down like that. Get down off me. Stop now, stop. All right. We're going for a walk. You don't have to beg.
Yeah, now you got to bark it again.
Can't make up his mind. Well, let's go right out this back kitchen door. Come on, here we go, Bunny. Stop jumping like... Come on. How do you expect me to open the door? Hey, get out of the way there.
I'll open it, Big John.
Hey, this is a beautiful day. Oh, it's warmer out here than it is in the house.
Look at him go. They're running out into the yard. Yeah, go get him, buddy. After that, buddy. Go get him.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, boy, so dark. Come on, Big John, let's go. Buddy's way ahead of us. He's almost over to the woods already.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about Bunny. He'll never get lost in Wobbleding's Woods. He knows his way around back here better than I do.
Hey, looky there. There's a real pretty bluebird over there. See that?
Where? Oh, yeah. That's a blue jay. Yeah, pretty, isn't he?
Look at the two squirrels running along by the big walnut tree.
Uh-huh.
One's chasing the other. There goes one of them right up the trunk of the tree. How do they hold on like that?
They got little claws on their feet. You know, Sparky, I'm glad our house is right next to Wobbleding's Woods. That way we have lots of birds and animals in our backyard that we wouldn't ordinarily have, you know.
Yeah, we sure do have lots of animals, all right. Boy, there were squirrels and rabbits in our backyard all year. Hey, you know that there are raccoons and opossums back in Wobbleding's Woods, Big John?
Yeah, I know. Uh-oh, look over there. Look. See? A cardinal.
That's a baseball player bird. That's a St. Louis Cardinal. Yeah, they sure are pretty, though.
Yeah, they sure are. Oh, looks like I'm going to have to give this bench a coat of white paint here. little...
Come on, Big John, stop looking at garden furniture and let's get back into the woods.
Yeah, all right. Lead the way. And there's Howard Boskin next door, walking into his garage. What do you say there, Howard? Hey, buddy.
Hi, Mr. Boskin. You going for a ride in your sports car today?
Yes. Looks like that's what he's going to do. Oh, he likes that sport car of his. He's shaking his head. Well, come on. Push open a place in the bushes now so we can go through there.
Come on through here, Big John. Bushes are getting bugs on them.
Yeah, it won't be long before they have green leaves all over them, too. Hey, look at all the trees. The bugs look like they're just about ready to pop open.
Yeah. Boy, I can't wait till summer gets here.
I don't know why you want summer to get here. You can't wait till vacation time.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I like vacation time. Don't you?
Well, yeah, sure, I like it.
Hey, listen, Big John. Now that we're back in the woods and she can't see us anymore, I'm going to tell you something. While we were walking in the backyard through the woods, Mrs. Toohill was peeping out her window at us. I could see her push back her curtains.
Well, Sparky, if Mrs. Toohill finds pleasure peeping out from behind her curtains at people, let her look. That doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, but boy, she always has to know what's going on in the neighborhood. What an old nosy.
Oh, now.
I guess she's wondering why we're coming back here in the woods as if it's any of her business. Probably thinks we're going to dig up a buried treasure or something. Boy, it's a wonder she doesn't follow us.
Now, Sparky, you mustn't talk about Mrs. Toohill like that. Not just as...
Well, still, it's true.
Well, I know it's true, but you just let her go. She isn't hurting anyone.
Whenever Rabbit Ears McEaster sees Mrs. Toohill peeping out of the window at us, he waves at her and yells, "Hi, Mrs. Toohill." Well, you can see that old curtain fly back into place, and Mrs. Toohill disappears away from the window so fast.
You guys are something. Yeah. Well, there's the fork in the path. Now, let's see, which one do you want to follow? Which way?
Oh, we may as well go this way back toward our clubhouse shack. That's the way Bunny went.
Okay.
You know, whenever we come back this way, I think Bunny automatically follows this path because he always thinks we're going back to the shack. He knows.
Well, that's only natural. He knows all you boys are always back here in your clubhouse when you come back in the woods. Say, where... aren't any of the boys back here in the woods today?
No, they're all home doing their homework.
Doing homework? Why aren't you?
I didn't get any. I knew all my lessons real good today, and so I didn't have to do any homework tonight.
Boy, it's the same thing every night. I don't have any homework to do. You must be one of the smartest kids in the class.
Hey, I got a special reason for wanting to come back here to the clubhouse, Big John. I guess I can tell you now.
What?
None of us kids have been back here for a couple of days, and I want to look at it and see if I should bring up at the next club meeting that maybe we ought to make a project of painting it this year.
I see. You're thinking about painting the shack, huh? Where do you figure you're going to get the money to pay for the paint?
Oh, I don't know. We'll get it somewhere.
Yeah, from me, I suppose. That's probably why you suggested we take this little stroll. Get a little propaganda here.
No. Of course, now that you bring it up, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Yeah, what about that? Would you like to buy some paint for our clubhouse?
Here comes the soft sell, the old pitch. Well, we'll see. I'll have to take a look at the shack first and make sure that it needs a coat of paint.
Oh, don't worry. It needs it all right. Wait till you see it. Boy, I'm telling you, it's beginning to look like nothing but an old shack.
Is that so?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Hey.
What's the matter?
Here's our clubhouse shack, and look at that.
What?
There's smoke coming out of the chimney. There's somebody inside.
Somebody inside? Well, maybe it's one of the club members. Rabbit Ears McEaster, or Charlie Claverdine, Maxie Finster, somebody like that.
Yes, sir, it's not them. I know, because they're all home doing their homework. Yes, sir, Big John, there's somebody inside our clubhouse shack who has no business being in there.
Do you think perhaps it's Gas House Street Gorilla Gang? Maybe it's Crunch Hexensmasher, or Roscoe McKeever, or Herbie Zickenzacker, or one of those guys.
Well, could be. Sure better not be, I'll tell you that right now. Look, let's be real quiet and sneak up on the shack and take a look in through the window.
Okay. Be real quiet. Hey, Sparky, what are you going to do if it is the Gas House Street Gorilla Gang?
Well, if it is, boy, they just better watch out. Shh. Quiet.
All right.
We don't want whoever it is in the shack to hear us.
Okay. So here we are now. Let's peep in the window.
Okay, now careful. So they don't see us.
Okay.
Hey.
What?
Look.
What?
It's a man.
A man? Let's see. By George, it is a man. What's he doing in
Yes, sir, a man.
Hey.
A very mysterious man sitting on a box with his back to the window. Now, what's he doing there? Who is he? Where'd he come from? Hey, this is a real mysterious mystery. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
And that's the way another adventure started. Who was the mysterious man sitting in the clubhouse shack in Wobbledink's woods, head buried in his hands with a worried look in his face? I've never seen him before, nor has Sparky. But we've got to find out who he is and what he's doing there. So, until next time, I guess you'll just have to wonder. So long, kids.
And now it's time for the further adventures of Big John and Sparky. Today's chapter is entitled, The Mysterious Man in the Shack. It was a beautiful spring day in Cincinnati as today's adventure began. Sparky and I were taking a walk in Wobbledink's woods, enjoying the fresh air, the gentle spring sunshine. Bunny had gone with us, and he had run off into the underbrush someplace. As Sparky and I were approaching the clubhouse shack that Sparky's gang has back there in the woods, Sparky noticed that smoke was coming from the chimney. There was a mysterious visitor. Let me tell you about it this way.
Hey, Big John, when we get back to our clubhouse shack, I want to take a look at it and see if it could use a coat of paint.
For which I will have to pay, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt. No, I mean, well, that's not a bad idea. But, seriously, Big John, it could use some paint. Boy, our clubhouse is starting to look like nothing but an old shack. In fact, if it weren't... Hey, look.
What's the matter?
There's our clubhouse shack, and look at that. There's smoke coming out of the chimney. Hey, there's somebody inside our shack.
Somebody inside? Well, perhaps it's one of the club members. Rabbit Ears McKeester, Charlie Clammerding, Maxie Finster, somebody like that.
Oh, no, it's not them. I know that because they're home doing their homework. Siree. There's somebody inside there that has no business in there.
Do you think perhaps it's the Gas House Street Guerrilla Gang? Maybe it's Crunch Hexensmasher or Roscoe McKeever or Hermie Zickenzacker or one of those boys.
Could be. And sure better not be. I'm telling you that right now. Let's be real quiet and sneak up on the shack and look inside, huh?
Okay, but be real quiet. What are you going to do if it is the Gas House Street Guerrilla Gang in there?
Well, boy, they'd better watch out if it is. Shh. Now, let's be quiet now.
Yeah, we don't want whoever is in there to hear us. Let's peep in the window over here. Come on over this way.
Careful, watch out that they don't see us. Hey, look. It's a man.
A man? Let me see. By George, it is a man in there.
Yes, sirree, a man, a very mysterious man sitting on a box with his back to the window. What's he doing in there? Who is he?
No telling. And if he hears us, there's no telling what he might do.
You afraid of him, Big John?
Well, no, I'm not afraid of him. I'm not exactly, but there's nothing wrong with being cautious.
Well, I'd like to know why he's in there, too.
I'm just as curious as you are, Sparky. I can't imagine why anyone would want to break into a little shack like this.
Shh. Let's peep in the window again. Quiet now.
Can you still see him? What's he doing? Can you see him?
Yeah. There he is. He's still sitting there like he was before. Still sitting there with his back toward the window.
Let me take a look. He's a rather big man. I wish he'd turn this way so we could see his face.
Yeah. I wonder who he is, too.
Yeah. And where he came from.
Yeah.
Can't understand why he'd just sit there with his face buried in his hands like that.
He doesn't even move. He just sits there real quiet. You don't think he's asleep, do you, Big John?
No, I don't think he's asleep. Just moved a foot just a moment ago, and every once in a while, it seems like he just heaves a heavy sigh.
Well, what do you think we ought to do? Should we call the police and have them come and chase him out of our shack?
No, I don't know. I don't think we want to do that. After all, it might be just some poor old man who has no home.
Yeah, but then again, Big John, maybe he's an escaped convict.
Escaped convict? Oh, now, Sparky. Where would an escaped convict come from around here? There isn't any prison nearby, and I don't recall hearing about any prison breaks lately.
Oh, maybe he's somebody who's hiding out from the police.
No. If he were, we'd have read about it in the papers or heard about it on the radio.
Well, let's do something about it. That guy can't stay in our shack. Hey, wait a minute. Look, he's getting up.
What?
He's walking over toward the other side of the room. Hey, look what he's doing.
What's he doing?
He's eating our official club food.
Food? Do you kids keep food in your shack?
Sure. It's a big box of crackers.
Oh.
And that man in there is eating them. Come on, Big John, let's get back home so I can call the police.
Now, wait a minute. Why are you going to call the police?
I'm going to have that guy arrested for trespassing and stealing our valuable food.
No, you're not. You can't have him arrested for trespassing.
Why not?
Well, in the first place, this isn't your property. Wobbledine's Woods doesn't belong to anybody. At least not anybody that I know of.
Well, I know that, but our shack belongs to us, and that's what he's in. He's in our shack.
Sure, but your shack isn't on your own property.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, forget about being so quick to call the police.
Well, okay. Boy, if Bunny were here, I'd just walk in there and I'd ask that guy what he's doing in there.
Hey, by the way, where is Bunny?
He ran off into the woods somewhere, probably chasing a rabbit or something. He's all right. Don't worry about Bunny. What I'm concerned about is, what about that man in the shack?
Yeah, what about the man in the shack? Let me look in the window again. Maybe if we watch him a while, we can determine whether or not he's harmful or whether he's dangerous.
Well, he might be harmless, but he sure is eating up our box of crackers.
Boy, the way he eats sure does act like he's hungry. I wonder if he's just a poor old man who doesn't have a job or money or even a home. He might be.
Yeah, that could be. Well, then why don't we just go in there and ask him?
Well, just a minute. Let's stay here for a minute and watch him and see what he does.
Well, he hasn't done anything except get up and get that box of crackers off the shelf over there in the corner. If we don't stop him, he's going to eat the whole box.
Well, if he's hungry, let him eat them. If he eats them all, I'll buy your club a whole new box.
Oh, well, okay. Hey, look, he's turning his head this way. Ooh, look at that. He's got a beard.
Yeah. You know, his face seems slightly familiar, but I can't seem to place it.
Well, he looks harmless enough.
Yeah, he looks harmless. He does.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, he even looks a bit helpless. Look at those wrinkles in his forehead. He looks like he's worried about something.
Hey, you know something? He almost looks like he's ready to cry.
I doubt if that man's a tramp. If he is, he's the best dressed tramp I've ever seen. His clothes are wrinkled and a bit dirty, but they're not very old. Look like they're pretty good clothing.
Come on, Big John. Let's go inside and find out who he is.
Well, all right. I suppose that is the best thing to do. Yeah, let's go on in. Now, wait a minute. Now, maybe you'd better stand behind me, all right?
Okay, go ahead. Open the door.
All right. Now, give me time. Now, what we want to do is just act like we don't know he's in there, see? We'll just walk in just like we're just walking in, just like we're walking through the woods and we come up and we just go in and we don't know there's anybody in there, see? Okay, here we go. Well, looks like there's somebody in here. Hello there, mister. How are
somebody
you?
in our clubhouse shack. Hi there, mister. What are you doing here? What's the matter, mister? Can't you talk? Big Johnny just sits there looking down at the floor.
Yeah, so I notice. Mister, are you lost, or don't you have any home? Can't you hear me, mister?
Boy, Big Johnny must know we're here, but he doesn't even look up. Hasn't looked up since we walked in. Hey, mister, what's the matter with you?
Look, if you're cold and hungry, you're welcome to come over to our house. We just live nearby. I'll give you a nice warm meal and the price of a shave and a haircut. You can certainly use that.
Yeah, he just sits there, Big John. Oh, here comes Bunny. Hey, mister, I hope you're not afraid of dogs. If Bunny comes in here barking, he's my dog. Don't be afraid, because he won't bite you. He just likes to bark a lot. Do you hear me, mister? Huh. He still won't talk.
Say, mister, are you sick? Why don't you look up at us?
Here's Bunny. Now, Bunny, don't bother that man. Hey, look, Big John, Bunny jumped up into the man's lap.
Hello, Bunny, old boy. How are you, feller? I guess you're the only friend I have got left in this world.
Hey, that's Mayor Plumfront, Big John. That man is Mayor Plumfront. Well, I'd recognize that voice anywhere. Mayor Plumfront. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Well, now, kids, if this isn't something, this mysterious man with the beard we found in our clubhouse shack turns out to be Mayor Plumfront. But he won't talk to us. Just sits there looking down at the floor. Hey, Mayor, I thought you went to Florida with the Widow Dilly. How come you aren't down there now? See that kid? He just won't talk. Now, I wonder what in the world is wrong with him. He just sits there and pets my dog, Bunny. Well, now, if this isn't a mystery. Well, I guess we have to leave you now, kids, but I'll see you later. So long.
Here they come. They're riding fast and they're riding hard. It's time for excitement and adventure in the West with Bobby Benson and the B-Bar B Riders. B-Bar B! And now for today's exciting story, The Queen of the Cowgirl. On a highway some miles north of the B-Bar B Ranch, a powerful-looking convertible towing a horse trailer pulls up where a narrow dirt road crosses the concrete.
This is as far as I can go with you, Kitty. It's only about 3 miles down that road to the ranch.
Oh, is this a lonely place? I bet there isn't a good nightclub or restaurant for 40 miles.
Forget about nightclubs. You lead the simple life from now on until we're ready to release the picture.
Well, I don't like it, Snapper.
It's in your contract, kid. You should read the small print. Now, I'm going to brief you.
Okay.
You ride into this ranch and you tell them who you are. Kitty Kerrigan, a film actress who wants to spend a few carefree weeks on a real ranch.
Well, I got that part, Snapper, but haven't you any details on this guy who's going to fall madly in love with me? The guy I'll marry in the last reel?
Well, I didn't mean it myself. Didn't want to be seen around too much. After all, if the papers find out this is a publicity stunt, they won't play it up on the front pages.
Well, yeah, but what's he like, Snapper?
My agents tell me he's the only bachelor ranch owner in this part of the West. That's why we picked this ranch.
Oh. What was his name again?
Oh, it's an easy name to remember, so don't forget it. It's Bobby Benson.
Howdy, boys. This the B-Bar B?
Huh? What? Why, yeah, sure. This is B-Bar B.
Ma'am, it was the B-Bar B until you arrived, but sure it's heaven now.
My, who writes your script?
Huh? Is there anything, just anything we can do for you?
Perhaps. Is the owner of the ranch around?
Not right now, he isn't.
Oh. Well, you see, I wanted to arrange to spend a couple of weeks here. I'm so sick and tired of the shallow life of Hollywood. I want the peace and quiet of a real ranch. Heavens, what was that?
Oh, probably one of the boys shooting at one of those eagles that's been attacking our calves.
Ma'am, you said you wanted peace and quiet. This here is the place for it.
Oh, dear, I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Kitty Kerrigan.
Kitty Kerrigan?
Uh-huh.
Not the beautiful movie star Kitty Kerrigan in person.
Oh, no. Just think of me as a simple cowgirl who wants to get away from it all. Happy, carefree, riding the range. Alone.
It's fine, except for the alone part of it. I'll have to go along with you, ma'am.
Oh.
Yes, to protect you from the mountain lions and wolves and bears and coyotes and wild pigs and such.
And the rustlers and horse thieves, gun runners, smugglers, and ordinary everyday bandits.
And the rattlesnakes and scorpions and tarantulas.
Yeah, and the prairie fires and blizzards and floods and other things like that.
My goodness, no volcanoes?
Well, we ain't had any lately, but this is Texas, ma'am. And if we do have a volcano, it'll be a Lollapalooza.
Hey, here comes Tex.
You can tell him you're visiting with us for a spell.
Hey, Tex! Wait till you hear.
You'll never guess what's happened.
Howdy, ma'am.
Oh, Mr. Benson, I'm so glad to meet you. I'm Kitty Kerrigan.
I'm pleased to meet you, ma'am. I've seen your pictures. They're mighty fine. But I think
You know, Mr. Benson, I've heard so much about you.
Well, Miss Kerrigan, I think I better explain.
And when I decided to get away from it all, I had my manager look for the perfect ranch for a real rest. He told me about you and the B-Bar B.
Yeah, I understand that, Miss Kerrigan, but...
So, Mr. Benson, here I am. I throw myself at the mercy of your hospitality.
Well, we're mighty happy to have you here, but I'm not Mr. Benson.
Huh?
I'm Tex Mason, the foreman.
Oh.
Bobby Benson's away from the ranch. He's having his tonsils out.
Oh, the poor man. I must take him some flowers.
Well, he'd probably rather have bubble gum.
Bubble gum?
Yes, and you see, our Mr. Benson's just 12 years old.
12 years... Oh, goodness, just a child.
Well, now, don't you ever let him hear you call him that. It'd spoil a friendship before it ever got started.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry I made such a silly mistake.
But we're mighty glad to have you. And Bobby will be back home in a few days.
Oh, so kind of you. I'll be so happy with you and all your cowboys escorting me over the range.
Maybe movie actress, Altiano.
Now, don't tell me you've fallen for that beautiful blonde, too.
Oh, me still true to pretty Red Wing. There'll be lots of work to do, Altiano. First norther of season comes soon.
Yeah, that's what's worrying me. We've got to move cattle down to the winter grazing. A lot of drift fences that need repairing. And I'll bet I won't get an honest hour's work a day out of those boys while that girl's around here.
Boys draw straws to see who serenade girl. Windman won.
Well, that's good. Maybe she'll pack up and go back to Hollywood after hearing Windy sing. Now, I can't figure what she came here for anyway. There's something behind this we don't know about.
Car just drive up.
I wonder if anyone put up a sign saying free room and board at the B-Bar B. Everybody welcome.
Want me to see who come?
No, I'll go, Harker. Howdy out there. You might as well come on in.
This the B-Bar B?
Sure is. Come on in, get warm.
You be Tex Mason, won't you?
Yes, sir, and I'm right glad to meet someone who knows my right name.
Huh?
Oh, nothing. Mr.
Smith. Warburton Delancey Smith.
Well, Mr. Smith, this is Harker, one of my men.
Oh.
Glad to meet you, chum. Say, I hope you don't mind my barging in like this, but I got lost.
Oh, not at all, not at all. We can put you up for the night. By the way, we've got a distinguished guest here. Kitty Kerrigan, the movie star.
Say, she's terrific. Sensational, great actress.
Oh, you know her?
Never met her in my life, but I've seen her in those great soul-wrenching emotional roles she portrays. She's here at the ranch?
Oh, yeah, she retired early, but you'll be able to meet her in the morning.
Oh, sure. That's mighty nice.
I reckon you're pretty tired after getting lost, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, that's right. I am tired. I got a lot of work to do tomorrow, too.
Work?
Yeah, I'm a writer, you know.
Oh, not a screenwriter.
Oh, no. I write articles about the West. That's what I'm doing down here in the Big Bend, learning about the real West.
Well, you sure came to the right place. And one day we have a movie star and a writer visit us. We're getting mighty popular. Now, come on, Mr. Smith. I'll show you your room.
Underneath that Big Bend moon, your true love is waiting. Underneath the Big Bend moon, his heart's a palpitating.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo?
Romeo ain't around, ma'am. This is Wendy Wells.
I know. How could I ever forget you, Wendy? Come closer to the window and whisper words of love.
Huh?
Tell me of your lonely heart.
My heart? Doggone it, it's jumping all over me insides. Gosh, I don't know what to say. Things is happening too fast for me to figure out. Gee willikers.
It's all been so beautiful. You serenading me in the moonlight, and now... Oh, throw me a kiss, Windy, so that I may put it beneath my pillow and dream upon it.
Wait till I get a stepladder. I'll do better now.
Oh, no, bold man. Just throw it to me. There'll be other nights, you know.
Okay. There. That ought to hold you.
Oh, good night, sweet friend. Good night.
Gosh, Wendy, what is this strange power you have over women? Why, alongside of you, Van Johnson's just an ouch! Doggone it, I walked right into a cactus.
Snapper, when did you get here?
A little while ago. Got here as quick as I could after I got your telegram.
Did I have a time getting by myself long enough to send that wire? Say, this ranch owner you picked for my big romance is only 12 years old.
Yeah, I found that out, but don't worry, I'm on the job.
Well, you better be, and get me away from all these moonstruck cowhands.
Look, kid, I'll stay right here and handle everything. Only when you see me in the morning, you don't know me.
Oh, if that were only true.
All right, save the cracks. In the morning, I'll get busy. I'll hire one of the cowboys to rope a mountain lion.
Gotta be an old one with bad teeth.
Yeah, I know. And I've got an idea about you saving the kid from a rattlesnake.
Huh?
Yeah, and I'll see if I can't contact one of the local bad men to shoot up the ranch so you can save the day. Yeah, there's going to be plenty happening on the B-Barbie.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of.
Ah, don't forget, you're the queen of the cowgirls.
It's the following morning on the B-Barbie, and in response to popular demand, Kitty Kerrigan and her incognito press agent Snapper Smith are having breakfast with the cowboys. And as you can hear, it's a very gay affair.
Hey, Miss Kitty, can I help you to 3 or 4 more eggs?
Here, Miss Kerrigan. Have another half dozen hot cakes.
Oh, dear, I couldn't eat another bite.
Oh, just try this little side dish of baked beans. They're right tasty.
Well, somebody pass me the sugar.
There it is. You can reach it if you stretch. Miss Kerrigan, try just another slice of ham.
Oh, I'll just finish my coffee. What seems so strange, we're on a cattle ranch, and yet you use canned milk.
Well, ma'am, our range cows are pretty wild. We can't seem to train them to sit on them little bottles.
Oh, Wendy. And now, who's going to show me around the ranch today?
I got it all planned.
I'll get your horse saddled and go right along with you.
Ma'am, I can show you some mighty beautiful sights.
Miss Kerrigan, you won't mind if I accompany you. I'll bring along my candid camera, of course.
I don't know.
I said I'll have my camera, Miss Kerrigan.
Oh, cameras. Even out here in the true West, I can't escape them. Very well, Mr. Smith. I'll be glad to pose for a few informal snapshots. Now I'll just run along, change into riding clothes, and put on some panchromatic makeup.
But, Miss Kerrigan, you didn't say which one of us you wanted to ride with you.
Oh, dear. Well, the first one of you who brings back my horse from the corral, he'll be my escort.
Give me room. Get out of my way.
Well, I'll be... It's the first time I ever saw any of those boys in such a hurry to get to work.
Oh, they've just gone to get my horse for me. You're going to ride with me, aren't you, Mr. Mason? I've been counting on that.
Oh, ma'am, I'm awfully sorry, but I have work to do today. And so have the boys.
Oh, after all, Mr. Mason, all work and no play.
Leaves the cattle without any hay. That's how we say it down here, ma'am.
Ha ha, clever man. Well, bye-bye. See you later. Tex.
Hey, you! Cowboy!
He went that way.
No, I mean you. You're the one I want to talk to.
Wendy Wales is the name.
Wendy, how'd you like to make a quick $20?
Well, as long as it don't involve murder or horse stealing, I'm your man. But I'd rather have an autographed picture of Miss Kerrigan.
Well, I'll get you that as a bonus. I need a mountain lion.
Oh, shucks, that'll be easy. Just give me a couple of days, and I'll shoot one for you.
I want him alive, but I can't wait 2 days. I need him quick.
That's something else again. Hey, wait a minute. Do you have to have a real, wild, ferocious mountain lion, or will a pet one do?
You mean you people keep those things for pets?
Oh, sure. They get along fine with our tame wolves. Maybe I could borrow Old Toothless.
Old Toothless?
Yeah, he's a mountain lion Jed Jenkins keeps around his place. He ain't got a tooth in his head. Can't eat nothing but oatmeal, and it's got to be well cooked.
Harmless, huh?
It's so harmless, Jed lets him stretch out by the front door so folks can wipe their feet on him on a muddy day.
Sounds just like the lion I need. Hey, get him for me, but keep him hid out, huh?
It's as good as done. Could you let me have a part of that 20 in advance? I'll have to give Jed some money.
Oh, sure. Here's 10, and I'll pay you whatever you have to pay for running the line, in addition to the 20.
Oh, that's mighty fine of you, mister. I'm on my way.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Hey there, you busy?
Oh, me?
Uh-huh. I need a little help. I'm going to take some pictures for an article I'm doing. Are there any desperate characters around here?
You mean bad men?
Yeah.
Well, haven't been any around for at least a week. But there aren't many empty cells in the Cactus City jail, I can tell you.
Well, are there any characters who look like desperados?
Say, maybe we could stick a big black mustache on Wendy.
No, nothing like that. That'd be phony.
Wait a minute. I know just the man for you. Say, he's really a wild-looking hombre. Big black mustache, sharp black eyes. Yes, sir, he looks wicked. His name is Raymond Candelaria.
Just the man. A Mexican bandit?
No, he's the janitor at the United Church in Cactus City.
Oh. Well, he'll have to do. And I'll pay him well. Can you get him down here for me?
I can do it.
Oh, that's fine. But keep him undercover until I tell you what I want him to do.
Okay, mister. I'll saddle up and light out for Cactus City right now.
Things are shaping up, Snapper, my boy. Hey, Indian. Geronimo, whatever your name is.
Geronimo be my great-great-uncle. My name Harker.
Oh, Harker, I need some rattlesnakes.
Just walk through brush, not look where you go. You find plenty.
No. I want you to catch some for me. I'll pay you $1 each.
50 rattlesnake be enough?
5 will be plenty.
Okay.
And can you pull their fangs so they'll be harmless?
They're not harmless very long. Grow new fangs fast.
Well, I'll just need them for a little while.
Me got them.
Good. And just keep them for me until I ask for them.
Okay. Me get them now.
Yes, sir. Things are really working out fine.
Hey, Harker, is that Miss Kerrigan got you running errands, too?
Oh, no. Smith man want rattlesnakes. Figure it better me catch 'em than him try maybe get bit.
What's he want snakes for?
Not know yet. Maybe when me get them, he find out.
What's going on around here, Harker? Windy has disappeared, and that looked like Irish just riding off toward Cactus City.
Windman going to borrow mountain lion.
What?
Irish going to get man with big black mustache.
Is everybody loco around here?
Me not know. But gut feeling it all have something to do with pretty girl that be here.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I still can't figure what's up. Harker, she's a right pretty girl, but we've got to get her to leave.
Huh? Why?
She's disrupted the whole ranch. We'll just have to give this young lady a taste of the real Wild West, and that'll send her hopping back to Hollywood in a hurry.
How you do that?
I'll think about it. First, I'd like to find out what this Smith man's going to do with the rattlers.
He want fangs pulled out so they not bite. Oh, yes, and Lion Windman go for his old toothless. He not hurt anybody.
How about the man with the black mustache?
Him be old Ramon Candelaria. Him everybody's friend.
Uh-huh. It adds up. This Smith guy is planning some sort of an act that'll make things look dangerous. Well, we'll just fool him.
Huh?
If they want rattlers and mountain lions, we'll show them the real thing.
Hey, Mr. Smith. Old Raymond come down with me. He's taking a siesta over in the feed barn.
Fine. It's just fine. Here comes Wendy.
I got that toothless cat for you. Had a hard time getting him here, too. Kept wanting to stop and go to sleep. I got him tied up back to the bunkhouse.
Oh, that's great. Just great. Now listen, fellas. I'm playing a little joke on Miss Kerrigan. Wendy, I want you to take that line up the river trail and turn them loose when you see us coming.
You won't none of you have guns, will you?
Oh, I'll make sure of that. I just want to get some pictures of Miss Kerrigan and the mountain lion.
I see. And then I'll come riding in and rope the lion.
No. Nothing like that. We'll let Miss Kerrigan think she's scared it away, you see? And in Irish, you get your men, this Raymond, to pretend to hold us up, you see? Have him use an empty gun, of course.
Are you sure nothing will go wrong?
Oh, there's not a chance. I'll just get some great pictures of a famous movie star in unexpected situations.
Okay, then.
Now, let's see. Oh, yeah. I wonder if that Indian was able to catch any rattlers. You fellas seen him?
He's standing right behind you.
Huh? Oh, yeah. Didn't hear you come up.
Here, take bag.
Thanks. Now, did you get any snakes?
Sure, me get 'em.
Where are they?
They be in bag me just give you.
Oh, I see. Hey, here, take them quick, will you?
Me don't want them.
Look. All I want you to do is take these up the river trail. You see, you know where the big boulder is, about 3 feet from the trail? I noticed it this morning.
Me know.
When you see us coming up the trail this afternoon, just turn the snakes loose. That's all you have to do.
Okay.
All right. Now, if one of you boys can pick out a real gentle horse for me to ride this afternoon, we're all set. Well, I'll see you later.
Well, boys, I heard the whole thing.
Tex!
The fella's just planning a joke, Tex.
Uh-huh. But two can play jokes, and I've decided to play one, too. On our Mr. Smith. And at the same time, show Miss Kerrigan the real West. Now, you just keep old Toothless tied back at the bunkhouse, Windy. And Irish, you can tell old Ramon you won't need him. I'll pay him for his time, though.
All right.
And I don't reckon we'll need those snakes, either.
But, Tex...
Just leave everything to me, boys, and you'll be surprised at what happens. We're going to let nature take its course.
It's early afternoon on the B-Bar-B, and Kitty Kerrigan, the screen actress, is on her horse, waiting for Bobby and Tex, who are going to ride out with her along the river trail. Then, mounted on a gentle old nag, Snapper Smith jogs up.
Whoa, steady. Whoa, steady. Hey, stop, will you? Oh, how I hate horses.
Well, you'll never take the place of Roy Rogers, that's a sure thing. You going with a snapper?
What sacrifices I make for my job. Yes, I'm going with you. Sister, you're going to be busier this afternoon than you were in the last reel of Riot on the Raid.
Oh, give me the plot, partner.
All right. First, you see some rattlesnakes near that big rock on the trail. You're not afraid of them. You jump off your horse and you beat them to death with your
Hey,
foot.
wait.
There's nothing to worry about. They've had the fangs pulled.
Oh.
Then next, you'll meet a mountain lion, a toothless mountain lion. You ride your horse right at him, and he's guaranteed to run.
Oh. Does the lion know about the guarantee?
And then out of the bushes comes a desperado. He tells you to stick him up. You pull your gun.
What gun?
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Here.
Oh,
It's loaded with blanks. You shoot at the desperado, and he runs into the brush, screaming as if wounded.
Yeah.
You've defeated death 3 times in one afternoon, and I'll have pictures of everything. It'll make the front pages of every newspaper in America. Queen of the Cowgirls faces wasteland perils.
Yeah, but what'll Tex be doing all this time?
Tex? You mean he's gone along?
Yeah, at the last moment he found the time.
Oh, fine. It'll probably louse up everything. Well, it's too late to change things because here he comes now.
Hi, Miss Kerrigan.
Hi.
Hey, you going with us, Mr. Smith?
Yeah, I thought I'd get some pictures to illustrate my story.
Well, that's fine. We all ready, Irish?
We're going up the river trail, aren't we?
Yes, sir. The old river trail where anything can happen. And today it's liable to be anything. Hey, keep close to Mr. Smith, Irish, so you can catch him if he falls off.
All right.
Let's ride. The beautiful West, man. Just look at it.
You certainly can't get away from it.
And the silvery Rio Grande sliding slowly to the sea. A day like this brings out the poet in me.
Tex, are you feeling well? Ho, McGillicuddy.
Hey, it's a snake.
I'll take care of that rattler.
Hey, don't get off your horse.
Hey, Kitty! Kitty, that's not the one!
Stay away from that snake.
I'll show you how we kill rattlers in Hollywood.
Stand still, ma'am. Don't move.
Oh!
You shot his head off, Tex, just as he was about to strike at Miss Kerrigan.
No, ma'am. I want to show you something.
Hey, Tex, be careful picking it up.
He's dead, Irish. Look at these fangs on this rattler, Miss Kerrigan. You see? You'd been an awfully sick girl if we'd hit you with those needles, huh?
Oh, no.
Yes, ma'am. And now what do you say we ride on up the trail? After all, killing a rattler isn't much. How do they do it in Hollywood?
Mr. Smith, I would have words with you.
Something must have went wrong.
Come on, folks. We're wasting precious minutes of a beautiful day. Miss Kerrigan, you seem bothered about something. You're not tired of the wide open spaces already, are you?
Oh, I was just thinking how close I was to that rattler.
Oh, well, think nothing of that. Happens all the time to cowboys. Oh, and cowgirls.
I was also thinking I am sort of stupid at times.
I wouldn't say that either, man. Say, Mr. Smith, how'd you like to get a picture of a real mountain lion?
Huh? Well, I'm going to. I want to.
Oh, just ahead of us, there's a place where they go down to the river to drink. It's a little early to see one, but you never can tell.
Yeah. Well, that'll be very interesting.
Keep your eyes open, Irish.
All right.
And better pull your horses down to a walk.
Oh, good heavens. Did that sound come out of you?
Yes, ma'am. It's just a kind of a call of a lost calf. It ought to interest any mountain lion that might happen to be prowling around.
Tex, look, coming up from the river.
By golly, it is a mountain cat. Whoa, Ginger. Better give him room, folks. We're between him and safety.
Well, you can't scare me, Mr. Mason. Those cats are cowards. Watch him run when I ride into him. Giddy up! Giddy up!
Hey, watch that cat. He'll jump you.
Hey, that's no toothless mountain lion.
Tex, he's crouching to spring. You better shoot.
I can't. I'm afraid I'll hit the girl. I'll have to ride in there myself. Get going, Ginger. Cowboy. Hey! Get back, girl! You'll get clawed, sure. Get back now. Give me room to use my rope on this critter. Got him! Back, Ginger, back. Quick, boy.
Hey, Irish.
Yeah?
What'd he do?
He snapped that lion's neck with his rope. That's what he did. And it takes a good man with a rope and a good horse to do that. Nice work, Tex.
That was kind of close in there. You all right, ma'am?
Oh, Tex, you saved my life. That That was a real wild lion.
Yeah, he was real wild and real mad, and that's a bad combination. Kind of glad I had a chance to get him. We've been looking for him. He's been getting some of our stock. Well, now, folks, this play acting has gone far enough.
Play acting?
What do you mean?
You know, Smith, there's plenty of danger that goes along with our daily job. You don't have to fake it, like the Hollywood press agents.
B-Bar B Ranch has been a presentation of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
Company presents Captain Midnight. Captain Midnight, brought to you every day, Monday through Friday, at this same time, by the Skelly Oil Company, Skelly Choppers and Dealers. Say, you know, there's nothing I get a bigger kick out of than hearing from you members of Captain Midnight's Flight Patrol. Boy, you certainly do write some swell letters. Why, here's one I just received today. It's from Drew Samuel of Chicago, Illinois.
Dear Don Gordon, I've been a member of Captain Midnight's Flight Patrol for a whole year. I thought last year's membership badge was tops, but I like this year's spinner medal even better. That secret password had me stumped for a while. But I know the meaning of it now, and I'm not going to tell anyone until I see if I'm right. All the fellows at school ask me about my swell spinner medal. They want one, too. So I tell them to go with their mother or dad to the Skelly service station and get one. They can't believe it's free, but I tell them to go and find out for themselves. Believe me, I'm a booster for Skelly and Captain Midnight. Signed, Drew Samuel.
Well, say thanks a lot, Drew. Gee, that was swell. Yes, sir, you bet that medal of membership is free. You don't need any box tops or shields either. Not even a penny for a cent. And it surely is a beauty, isn't it? If you haven't joined yet, you better stop at your Skelly service station with Mother or Dad tonight. Your Skelly man will send right in for your spinning propeller medal. And listen, the minute you get that medal of membership, start figuring out what that secret password means. If you get the answer, don't tell anybody. Just write a letter or a postcard to Captain Midnight, Skelly Oil Company, Kansas City, Missouri, telling what you think the password stands for, and your letter may be printed in the next issue of the Flight Patrol Reporter, our own club newspaper. But say, when Dad drives you over to see your Skelly man, remember this. It's time to change the winter oil. And Dad will surely be glad you told him about Skelly Tagoline winter oil. It's tailor-made for easy start and smooth, free-flowing lubrication in colder weather. Remember the name, Skelly Tagoline winter oil. And now to Captain Midnight. The famous pilot and Chuck Ramsey are planning a precarious takeoff at daybreak from the treacherous lakebed back in the mountains. In the meantime, Ivan Sharp, in his headquarters at the Hacienda, he is stolen from Senor Juan Poreda, is completing plans for a master stroke against Captain Midnight. It is now late at night, and Shark is interviewing Senorita Dolores Poreda, distracted daughter of Senor Juan. The cutthroat Gardo is also in the room. Listen as the suave Ivan Sharp says,
My dear Senorita, every promise I have made you will be kept. If you will tell me where the Poreda treasure is hidden.
I do not know what to do. I have thought and thought, but it does not seem to do any good.
All you have to do is to tell me what I wish to know, and everything will be all right.
Yes, but you promised me before that you would let me speak to my father, and that you have not done.
Senorita, nothing will be accomplished if you become hysterical. On the contrary, if you listen to reason, I will keep the promise I have made. You have only to tell me where the treasure is.
I have not said there is any treasure.
It is useless to say that, Senorita. Quite useless. You know all about the Poreda treasure. You are the only daughter of Senor Juan. He would not have kept you ignorant.
Very good, Senor. I will make the bargain with you.
Now we're getting somewhere. What is the bargain you wish to make with me?
I will do this, Senor. I will write upon a piece of paper
the location of the Parade treasure.
Excellent, senorita. As soon as you give me this paper, I will let you and your father go.
Wait, senor, wait. I have not finished. There's something else.
Very well. Proceed.
After I have written the location of the treasure upon the paper, I will hide the paper. And then, after you have given my father and me our liberty, then I shall tell you the location of the paper.
Very clever, Senorita Pareda. Very clever indeed. But not clever enough. It would be possible for you to say you've hidden the paper when you have not done so at all. And then you could put false information on it. No, Senorita. I am afraid it will not do.
Come on, Chief. Hand her over to me. I'll find out.
Perhaps I shall give you your chance, Gardo. But not quite yet.
Very well, senor, but at least you can do this. If I give you a part of the treasure to show my good face, then you can believe that I will give you a paper that will show the location of the remainder.
That, Senorita, interests me. Where will you have to go to get this portion you speak of?
You will give me the liberty of the hacienda and the garden. It will not be necessary for me to go outside the wall.
Very good, Senorita. I agree. It will soon be morning. For some time I shall be very busy, but later on today I shall be here. Then you shall bring me this part of the treasure you speak of.
Then you will agree to the bargain?
If the treasure you show me is sufficiently interesting, I shall do as you request. Now then, you shall go. Fang.
You wish to speak to me, Master?
Yes, Fang. You are to follow Senorita Pareda, and you are to keep her under observation the rest of the day. You must not fail in this.
Very good, Master.
You must be careful that she does not know that you are watching her.
I understand, Master.
Very good. You may go.
Yes, Master.
Well, what do we do now, Chief?
Very soon it'll be daybreak, Gardo, and we must be in the air.
Yeah, but there's a heavy mist around them mountains in the morning, Chief. We can't do much till it clears up.
We will be ready to take to the air, and the instant the fog begins to lift, we will take off.
Okay. Anything else?
You will see that all ships and pilots are ready to fly. Go now, and then send me word.
Okay, Chief. Gardo never fails.
And now, back to Captain Midnight. As daybreak neared, the famous pilot and Chuck Ramsey climbed into the cockpits of the Black Two-Seater and warmed up the engine. Then they start their takeoff. Listen as Chuck shouts.
We're almost off, Red. There, the wheels are clear.
Yes, I heard them rise, Chuck. There was a lot of drag to the ground there.
We got to turn, Red. There are high trees and a steep hill on the other side of the lake face.
Yes, I know, Chuck. I jumped her off the ground so as to get into the air as quickly as possible. For the moment, I'm letting her pick up more flying speed.
Oh, gee, that's right. We got to have plenty of speed.
All right, now that's fast enough, I think. Hold tight. I'm pulling her up into a steep right turn.
Do some work.
I will, Chuck. Hang on. Okay, now we're coming around.
How's the handle?
She responds to the controls nicely. Can't you feel it when I move the stick?
I'll say I can. Are we headed west yet?
A little bit north of west. But I don't see any top to this fog, so I'm making a complete circle.
Well, how much altitude do you gain now?
300 feet. Still not enough. But by the time we've completed our circle, it will be.
I thought we'd begin to break through this fog, but I guess not.
No, it must extend higher than we thought.
Which way are you going to head after we get out of the crater?
Northeast, Chuck.
We can't do much if we don't get out of this fog pretty quick.
I think we'll break through pretty soon now. You know, it's like this every morning, especially around these mountain peaks. Oh, wait, look. It's beginning to lighten up a little already.
It sure is. How high are we now?
Well, we're 700 feet. Another quarter turn, and I'm going to head northeast.
Remember, we've only got an hour's gas.
Yes, I know. But before long, I hope to replenish our supply.
How in the world are you going to do that?
I'll tell you shortly.
Jiminy cricket, it's getting a lot lighter.
Yes, a few more seconds, and we'll be through this stuff. Say, look, I can see the wingtips, Chuck. Can you?
Yeah, I can, Red.
We're through it, Chuck. And now we're on our way.
And now we return to the shore of the Bright Lake bed. Two shadowy figures, Patsy Donovan and the Mexican boy Pebbles, listened to the takeoff of the Black Two-Seater. And then, when the sound of the engine had faded into distance, they sat down on a rock ledge. Listen as Patsy sighs and says,
Gosh, Pebbles, I'd give anything if I were going with Captain Midnight and Chuck.
Oh, you said the mouthful, Patsy. I would like to go, too.
I sure wish I knew what Red had up his sleeve.
Oh, El Capitan Midnight, he has the clever plan to get gasoline and oil. You can bet the sweet neck on that.
He sure has.
When Red goes after something, he finds some way to get what he wants.
Oh, see. But I do not like to see how Captain Midnight and Chuck go away this morning.
Gosh, Pebbles, why not? It's very important or they wouldn't go.
See, I savvy that, but I like to have Chuck here this morning.
But why, Pebbles? Come on, tell me. I think you've got something up your sleeve.
Oh, you think I have something up the sleeve, huh? Well, maybe you are not so far off after all.
Come on, tell me, Pebbles. You wouldn't hold out on a pal, would you?
Well, I would show you if Chuck were here, too.
Then you are holding out on me. What is it, Pebbles?
No, I cannot tell you. Chuck, he must be here, too.
Come on, you tell me, and when Chuck gets back, we'll both tell him.
Oh, no. You are like all the girls. You are very curious.
Oh, is that so? Well, if Chuck were here, he'd have gotten it out of you already.
Well, if Chuck is here, then I show you. As soon as he returns, I will show you both.
Well, I hope Chuck hurries and gets back soon. Gee, Pebbles, I wonder where they are now, and what's happening.
Freezing beacons, Red. Now I can see plainly. We're coming right to Ivan Chuck's landing field, next to the parade hacienda.
Right you are, Chuck. Watch it now, we're about to hit. Keep your eyes on everything around us.
Okay, Red. I'm watching everything.
All right. I'm going to taxi right up to that shack for the wall there. I think that's where Shark keeps his gas and oil.
I don't see a soul around, Red.
That's what I was hoping, Chuck. There aren't any planes here on the field. That makes me think they're all out trying to pay us a little visit.
Look out, Red. We're going to break into that shack.
No, we're not. Hold tight. I'm slapping on the brake hard. Now, there. Now I'll turn around, ready for a quick takeoff.
That's swell. Oh, look, Red. Those 5-gallon cans must be gas and oil.
And that's going to be our next job, Chuck. Filling up with Ivan Shark's gas.
I'll cut the engine, Red.
Okay. It's a lucky thing we've got one of Shark's planes, so no one will be suspicious of our landing here. All right, come on now. We've got to work fast.
Well, that's done. The tanks are all loaded, Red.
Wait a minute. Look, Chuck. That wall back there. There's a man looking over it. Come on. Let's see what he's watching. We might find out something important.
Gee, Red, it's a garden full of beautiful flowers.
Yes, I can't make out, though, what that fellow's watching.
Red, that fella. Why, he looks like an Oriental.
You're right, Chuck, he does.
What in the dickens? Why, there's someone in the garden. There, over to the right, Red, near that summer house.
Mm-hmm. It's a girl, Chuck. She's beautiful, too.
Gosh, I wonder who she is.
Got it, Chuck. Look, that fellow sees us. He's watching us.
Gee, he looks as if he'd seen a ghost.
Huh?
Why, blazing beacons, Red. He's starting to run for our ship. He must suspect us. Oh, the jig is up, Red.
Oh, no, it isn't, Chuck. Come on.
Well, Captain Midnight has chanced a daring stroke. He has landed at Ivan Shark's headquarters. But neither he nor Chuck knows that the fellow they have observed is Ivan Shark's personal servant and bodyguard, Fang. But say, what is the surprise Pebbles has in store for Chuck and Patsy? It's something you must not miss. So be sure to tune in tomorrow to Captain Midnight. Say, how many of you wide-awake young junior pilots have remembered to tell your dads about the original tailor-made gasoline, Skelly Aeromax? Have you explained to him how Skelly Aeromax is weather right for your car because it's tailor-made for quick starting, for pep and power and pickup in your kind of weather? Well, why don't you ask Dad to try a tank full of tailor-made Skelly Aeromax gasoline tonight? Remind him, too, that it's time to drain out that thick, sluggy summer oil and replace it with free-flowing Skelly Tagoline winter oil. Tell him it's better to prepare than repair. Say, Dad'll thank you, I'm sure, for introducing him to a swell combination for winter driving. Tailor-made Skelly Aeromax gasoline and Skelly Tagoline winter oil. Why don't you talk it over with him tonight? Then be sure to stop at your Skelly service station the next time you're out in the family car. Now, don't forget to tune in again tomorrow, same time, same station, for further transcribed adventures of Captain Midnight. Brought to you by the Skelly Oil Company, Skelly Jobbers and Dealers. What is the great surprise that Pablo has in store for Patsy and Chuck when the latter returns? That is, if he and Captain Midnight succeed in getting away from Ivan Shark's headquarters. Be sure to listen tomorrow. Until then, this is Don Gordon, your Skelly Man, saying goodbye and happy landing!
culture fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by. Dick Tracy is on the air.
The makers of Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, those two delicious, nourishing cereals that are shot from guns, now bring you another thrilling Dick Tracy detective adventure. And there go the big guns, reminding us all that puffed wheat and puffed rice actually are shot from guns right in the Quaker plant. Nourishing grains of sun-ripened wheat and rice are loaded into the guns, and then they're exploded to 8 times their normal size. That's what makes puffed wheat and puffed rice so specially easy to digest, so that you get their trigger-fast food energy much more quickly and easily. And that's important if you want to think fast and act fast like Dick Tracy does. And if you're a loyal Dick Tracy fan and friend, check up on the pantry at least twice a week to make sure there's always some puffed wheat or puffed rice there. Look to see at the end of today's program, and if there isn't one of those famous red and blue packages in the pantry now, ask Mother to order some from the grocer's. She's sure to be glad when you remind her of something so specially good for breakfast. And then you and Mother and Dad can join the thousands of happy families who enjoy Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice every day. And be sure you have your pencil and paper ready for today's secret messages. Get them now. When Dick Tracy closed the case involving the Baron and the substratosphere airplane plans, he paid a visit to Scotland Yard, and here the great detective found a new mystery. Dryden Small, the well-known Egyptologist, was returning to America with certain treasures which he had discovered in the ancient tomb of Tutankhamun. Small had reason to believe that someone was trying to kill him, and Tracy was asked to protect him on the voyage to America. Sitting in Small's cabin the first night out, Dick and Pat were startled to see a strange face peering in at their window.
Mr. Tracy.
What's the matter, Small? What's wrong?
Look, there at the window. The man with the yellow face.
So what?
Dick. Great Scott, look. That awful face at the window.
It's gone now. Come on, Pat. We've got to find out who it is.
Yes, and why are we standing through that window? Don't leave me alone. Don't leave me alone.
We'll be back in a moment. Here, through this door, Pat. That'll bring us out on deck.
I don't see anyone.
No, neither do I. We'd probably waste our time if we tried to find out who it was now. It's got too much of a head start, and it's too dark to recognize anyone. Come on, we might as well get back to the cabin. There are a few questions I want to ask Dryden Small.
You know, Dick, there's something about that tomb digger rubber that I don't like.
Well, we're here to protect him, not to make a friend of him, Pat. What I want to know is why he was so secretive. He hasn't told us the whole story by any means, Pat.
What's your theory, Dick? What do you think he's trying to conceal?
Well, I'm not sure. But I think perhaps he stole something from Tutankhamun's tomb, something which might be considered very sacred. Those who consider it so are trying to get it back. That's only a wild guess.
Well, it doesn't sound so wild to me.
Well, Mr. Small, we couldn't find a trace of your friend with the yellow face.
Mr. Tracy, I must say I'm surprised. You promised me protection, and then you run off and leave me alone. Why, I might have been murdered.
Oh, nonsense. We were nearby. Nothing could have happened to you.
I wish you wouldn't treat this so lightly. You may not realize it, Mr. Tracy, but I'm in very serious danger.
I don't treat any of my obligations lightly, Mr. Small.
I tell you, the people who are after me are very clever. Not only that, but they have at their command all the forces of evil and black magic. Oh, so it's black magic now, is it? Black magic and worse, perhaps. A curse has been set on me. I know it. I feel it. I'll never escape from it. Never.
Small, precisely what are you taking back to the States with you?
Oh, not a great deal. Some ancient pots and utensils used by the pharaohs, a fragment of the Great Seal, and also the mummy of Tutankhamun's second son.
The mummy is stored in the hold of the ship, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
And what else are you bringing back with you?
Nothing but those things I told you about.
Are you sure of that?
You don't believe me, do you?
To put it bluntly and briefly, no.
You think I'm holding back something from you, eh? Well, I'm not. I'm not, do you hear? I've told you everything. Everything. I don't know why they want to get me any more than you do. But I know they're after me, and you've got to help me.
I'm not so sure of that. I'm not so sure that I'm not going to rid myself completely of all responsibility in this case.
What? What do you mean?
I'll take the trouble to explain for the last time. When you go to a detective and ask his protection, you've got to tell that detective just what you're afraid of and what he's got to protect you against. Now, Mr. Small, don't withhold any information from me, because in this case, too, it may mean the difference between life and death.
I've told you everything. I swear it.
Who is the man in the yellow face?
I don't know. I don't know any more about him than you do.
From the way you spoke of him, you've seen him before. The man with the yellow face, you said. Do you know him, Small? Have you seen him before?
Yes, yes, I have.
You were right all the time, Dick. He was holding something back.
Where did you see him before?
Several times in Cairo, once in London. I don't understand it. I'm not sure I know how to explain it. But it seems I saw him every time I received one of those scarabs. Those scarabs which mean death and destruction for those who receive them. The only time I saw him in London was at the theatre. The usher handed me a program as I came in. When I opened it, there, folded in between its leaves, was one of the scarabs. At that very moment, I happened to look up at the boxes, and looking down at me was the man with the yellow face.
What else do you know of the man with the yellow face?
Well, that's all.
I don't believe you, Mr. Small. You know who he is, and you know what he wants.
I tell you...
Now, let me warn you once again. If anything happens to you, you'll have only yourself to blame. Because when you had the chance, you wouldn't tell us everything you know. And now, shall we go down to dinner?
Coffee, sir?
Oh, yes, please. By the way, Small, do you still carry that pearl-handled pistol?
Yes, and I shall never part with it.
If you ask me, it's much too dainty to be any good.
I'm afraid it isn't very much to depend on.
This pearl-handled revolver has been with me a long time, Mr. Tracy. I intend to hold on to it.
Hello. The lights have gone out.
Dynamo must have failed or something.
Certainly pitch black in here.
Tracy! Tracy! In the name of heaven!
Small, where are you?
He's struggling with someone.
Help, Tracy, help!
I can get my hands on whoever it is that... Ow, got him. Give me a hand here, Pat.
It's so dark, can't see a thing.
I've got hold of someone.
Well,
Can't see who it is.
There go the lights. They're on again.
Oh. Why, I was holding you all the time.
Who do you think you were holding?
Well, all I could do in the dark was to reach out and grab.
My throat, it hurts. Someone tried to choke me.
Yes, there are marks in your throat, all right.
Grabbing hold of me did one thing anyway. It scared him off.
Yes, Small. This time he was scared off. I wonder if I'll always get to you in time. I can't protect you from something that's nameless, you know. Something you won't tell us about.
I've told you everything.
Now, look here, Small. Tonight, you had an example of what might happen. And apparently you're still unconvinced that telling me everything you know is the only sensible thing to do. Now, for the last time, will you talk up? Well, how about it?
I've told you the whole truth.
Very well. I've done my duty. I've warned you.
Hiya, Dick.
Oh, hello, Pat. Where you been? Walking by on deck?
Yeah. Isn't it a beautiful night?
Yes, I suppose it is.
Yeah, I met a girl strolling about on deck. Miss Foster, her name is. Oh, boy, what a girl. She's swell platinum hair and... Say, what's the matter with you?
Huh? Oh, nothing.
You got something on your mind?
Yes, Pat. And his name is Dryden Small.
Where is our friend Small? Or should I say our small friend?
In there.
Asleep?
Reading in bed, I think. Pat, I'm more than ever convinced that he's keeping something from us.
Hey, Dick, maybe the guy's on the level. Maybe we're just imagining things. Maybe someone is trying to get hold of some of the things he took from Tutankhamun's tomb. Small says they're very valuable.
They're valuable, all right. And that's one part of his story, I believe. But whatever the man with the yellow face is after, is more than just a few trinkets taken from Tutankhamun's tomb.
Well, I wouldn't spend too much time worrying about it. Our job is to see that Dryden Small reaches America safely. Once he puts foot on American soil, our job is done.
No, Pat. I'm afraid it isn't as simple as all that.
Oh, why do you say that, Dick?
I've been telling Dryden Small that unless he tells me everything, I'm going to give up all responsibility for his safety. Of course, I'm not going to do that. Either while he's on this boat or after he lands.
But if he doesn't cooperate, why should you bother with him?
I've got to stay with Dryden Small until I'm sure that he's out of harm's way. We've had to protect uncooperative people before.
You know, Dick, there's something about this whole business that gives me the creeps.
Oh, it's not as bad as all that, Pat.
When we were chasing Max Gold or the Baron, we had something we could get our hands on. But what have we got here? Nothing but a face seen at the window. A figure that strikes in the dark. Dick, I don't like it.
Well, I'm not exactly delighted myself, Pat. But we policemen have to learn one thing. Not to turn away when there's an unpleasant job to do. Doing the things we like to do is simple. doing the things we don't like to do that proves whether or not we're men, capable of holding down a man-sized job.
I guess you're right as usual. And I'm glad you jacked me up. Oh, look, Dick. It's my turn to sit up with Small tonight, but I was thinking that maybe...
Yes, Pat?
Well, you know, the girl I met on deck, Miss Foster, I said I'd meet her in the ballroom for a few dances at 10:30, and, well, I sort of wondered if...
All right, Pat. Go ahead. How will you get back?
Thanks, Dick. I won't be very late.
Tracy.
Huh? What is it, Small?
Come into my bedroom one moment. There's something I want to show you.
What's the matter with you, man?
Come.
He sure looks funny to me, Dick.
All right, come along, Pat.
In here. Look. The wall above my bed.
Holy mackerel, Dick. Look. Someone's writing a message on the wall. Look, it's being written right before our eyes.
You see it, too? I thought I was going crazy. It's an invisible hand writing something on the wall. I can't escape it, and you can't help me. This thing is too big for us. It's too powerful.
Oh, the saints preserve us.
No, take it easy, you two. Let's see what the invisible hand is writing. There, it's evidently finished.
Yes. Look what it is written.
Your hour is at hand. Your end is near. The black pearl of Osiris must shine again.
Yes. And look, there on the floor. It's another scarab, Tracy. Another scarab.
What is the meaning of the strange message on the wall? And how is it written? It's a puzzler, all right. But now it's time for the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol meeting. The makers of Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, the specially delicious, nourishing cereals that are shot from guns, invite you to attend.
The 19th meeting will now come to order, and today the members of the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol congratulate the Boy Scouts of America on their 28th anniversary.
Let's all stand at attention, patrol members, as a tribute to that great boys' organization.
Boy Scouts of America, we salute you.
Fine, Junior. And now, patrol members, have you got a pencil and paper ready for the special secret code message? All right, Junior, let's have the message.
Here it is. Prisoner 25-9-3-20-11. 26, 21, 8, 17, 16, 20, 8, 16, 3. 8, 18, 15, 4. Did you get it? I'll repeat it again just to make sure. Ready? It's prisoner 25, 9, 3, 20, 11. 26, 21, 18, 17, 16, 20, 8, 16, 3. 8, 18, 15, 4.
Now you can decode that secret message with your Dick Tracy secret code book. And remember what it says, patrol members. It's important.
You know, Dick Tracy wants you to be as good as he is at decoding messages. So we're sending you a secret message every day this week.
Be sure you have your code book, a pencil, and some paper handy every day when you tune in on Dick Tracy. And listen, if you don't have a code book, join the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol now, so you won't miss all the swell secret detective activities and good times. Now, here's all you do to get your secret code book, your patrol pledge, and special badge. Just tear the tops off 2 packages of Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice, or one of each. Be sure it's the top panel that says, 3 wrappings guard its crispness. Then mail the 2 box tops with your name and address to Dick Tracy, Box L, Chicago.
And you have the time of your life in the Dick Tracy Secret Service Patrol.
So ask Mother to get you some Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice at the grocer's. Remember, they're the 2 delicious, nourishing cereals that are shot from guns to give you trigger-fast food energy.
Calling all adventure fans, calling all Dick Tracy fans. Stand by for another exciting Dick Tracy adventure tomorrow at this same time. That is all.
The Blue Network presents The Land of the Lost.
And its discoverer, Isabel Manning Hewson.
Yes, it's true. I did discover the land of the lost. To be sure, it was a long time ago, but I've never forgotten. You see, it was the most fascinating place I've ever been, and I'd like you to come along with me now and see what it's like. There are all kinds of wonderful things to be found in this strange land. Do you remember that doll you lost? Or that toy boat that sailed away and never came back? Or that umbrella that never turned up at the lost and found window after you left it on the train? Well, they're all in the land of the lost. All those things and many more. Let me tell you how I happened to go there. When I was a little girl, I lived near a lake, not very far from where you live. And my brother Billy and I used to go down and play in a fisherman's boat tied up at the landing. On this particular day, we were all upset. We had a terrible problem.
I lost it right here, Billy. This is exactly where it fell in the water.
Oh, you and your old doll. I'm sick of fishing for it. And what good will it do you anyway? It'll be ruined by now.
Oh, please, Billy, now you promised. Just drop the hook and line over one more time and fish around for it.
Oh, all right. It's your own fault anyway. You know you didn't have any business leaning over the boat and trying to wash that doll's hair.
Well, what about you and your jackknife? You lost it, didn't you?
Hey, I got something on the line.
Oh, Billy, that's Henrietta. Pull it in easy now. Don't lose her.
It's moving, Isabel. Isabel, it's pulling.
Oh, it can't be, Billy. Here, let me help you.
Oh, go away, I got it. Here it comes.
Oh, it's just a fish. It's not Henrietta at all.
What do you mean, just a fish? We can take it home and cook it.
Billy, what did you have to yank him into the boat for? He's flopping all around.
Sissy, I'll have him off the hook in a minute. Yeah, there.
Ouch. Who ever showed you how to take a hook out?
What? Billy, what was that?
It's me. Who else had a hook in his mouth?
Holy smokes. It's a talking fish.
But fish can't talk.
Who said they can't? I can talk. Put me back, and I'll tell you a lot of things.
Oh, no, you're just trying to get away.
Well, what would you tell us if we put you back?
Well, I can teach you to swim underwater.
Oh, even I can do that.
Uh-huh. For hours at a time?
Of course not. We're not fish.
Well, with my magic seaweed, you don't have to be a fish.
Magic seaweed? What's that?
Oh, he's just talking. It's nothing but a fish story.
Oh, you think so? Isabel, how would you like to see your doll?
My doll?
Yes, Henrietta. And Billy, how about your jackknife? Would you like to know where it is?
What? Well, how did you know about my jackknife?
Oh, I know all about everything that ever disappeared. You see, I'm Red Lantern, the light that guides people to the land of the lost.
The land of the lost?
What's that?
Well, it's a wonderful kingdom at the bottom of the sea. I could take you there if you'd put me back in the water.
Could you take us there now to see Henrietta?
Well, sure could. Look, you just put me back in the water, and I'll bring you each a piece of magic seaweed.
Remember now, no tricks.
Oh, may I be fried in breadcrumbs if I'm not back within 2 minutes.
Oh, go on, Billy. Take a chance.
I don't believe a thing he says, but here goes.
Oh, Billy, look at him. He's like a red light in the water.
Oh, boy, look at him go. But I bet you we never see him again.
Oh, Billy, I can't wait to find Henrietta. Do you suppose her new dress is ruined?
He's going to tell me about my jackknife. Why, if the old thing's at the bottom of the sea, it's all rusty anyhow. Oh, this whole thing's silly. Magic seaweed and the kingdom at the bottom of the sea.
What's so silly about it?
Oh, you'd believe anything.
Well, you're the one who put him back in the water.
I know, but you practically made me do it.
But you didn't have to. Oh, Billy, look, he's coming back.
Where?
Right down there. See?
Oh, yeah, I see him. Boy, he's really traveling. Oh, look, he's coming right up beside the boat.
Here I am, and I've got your magic seaweed.
I don't see anything magic about that. It looks just like ordinary seaweed to me.
Well, now, be careful. Don't drop it when you take it out of my mouth.
I'll take it. Oh, Billy, there are 2 pieces.
Well, of course. One for you and one for you.
What do we do with it?
Well, before you can do anything with it, I have to put the magic in it.
Well, go ahead and do it.
Well, hold on tight now. All set? Oh, magic seaweed, tempest-tossed, take us to the land of the lost. Isabel first, and then comes Billy. Presto, changeo, willy-nilly.
Oh, is that all there is to it?
Well, what more do you want? It works. Now put the stuff in your pocket and let's get going. Just slip over the side of the boat, that's all.
Go ahead, Billy. You go first.
All right. Here goes.
Now, come on now, Isabel. You're next.
Oh, all right.
Why, this is just like floating in the air.
Oh, I can breathe and everything. Oh, this is fun.
Well, sure it is. But come along now. You just follow me. Ready?
I'm ready.
Me too.
Well, here we go then, to the land of the lost.
And so we swam on with the lake current, and soon we came to a big tunnel. As we swam through the tunnel...
Oh, it's dark in here.
But there's a green light way up ahead.
Yes, that's the end of the tunnel. Beyond that lies the sea. That's where we'll pick up a sea current that will carry us to the land of the lost.
How long will it take us to get there?
Oh, not very long. Sea currents are much faster than the ones in the lake. You can relax and ride along on them, almost as though you were on a train.
But how do we know which current to take?
Oh, we just call up and make a reservation.
You call up. You don't have telephones down here, do you?
Well, of course we do. We underwater folk have our means of communication just the same as you Earth people had. We have the Shell Telephone Company, the Coastal Shellograph. Why, we even have airmail.
Airmail?
But certainly. The flying fish carrier.
Why, that's wonderful.
Well, we'll just slow down and get off. There's a telephone right there at the end of the tunnel. See?
Why, it looks just like a seashell fastened on the wall.
That's right. Uh-oh.
What's the matter?
Has either of you got 2 nickels for a dime?
Why, no, I haven't. You see, I don't get my allowance till day after tomorrow.
I haven't either.
Oh, dear, I was sure I had a nickel here somewhere, but I haven't got anything on me but a fin. This'll do it.
Did you find a nickel?
No, I'll use a slug, sea slug. Oh, come on, operator. Oh, you know, these operators really have their flippers full, handling all the calls that pass through the switchboard. We're thinking about putting in octopuses.
What?
Yes, more efficient, you know. 8 arms.
Oh.
They can reach all of... Oh, hello? Hello, this is Red Lantern. I'm over at the tunnel. What time does the next current leave for the land of the lost? Oh, no, an express, if there's one due fairly soon. Oh, fine. I was sure we'd missed it. All right, thanks. We're in luck. The lightning flash is running a little late today. It was held up by a gang of mackerel on their way to school. If we hurry, we can make it. Here it comes.
But it's not even slowing down.
Well, no, of course not. That wastes time. Now, just follow me. Step off the bridge here. Step off the ledge into the current. Don't be afraid. Step lively now, or you'll miss the current. We'll have to wait here for the next one. Come on.
Billy, give me your hand.
Here we go.
Why, this is wonderful.
It sure is.
You see, there's really nothing to it. You won't see much along the way, though. We'll travel much too fast for that. But we can make another trip sometime, on a local, and see all the wonders of the ocean.
Oh, look. Look at that big pink thing.
Yes, that's Carl.
And see that silly-looking fish? Look at those green whiskers. And he's got one eye on top of his head.
Oh, he's swimming over this way.
He's the funniest-looking thing I ever saw in my life.
What makes you think you're so pretty?
I guess that'll teach you not to make remarks about strangers.
I didn't think he'd hear me.
Whoa, what do I smell? Seaweed. Oh, that's my favorite vegetable.
Well, you can't have any of ours.
That smells good. I want some of that.
But it's our magic seaweed. We need it.
What do you need seaweed for?
So we can breathe underwater.
Who you trying to kid? I ain't got no seaweed and I can breathe underwater. Shucks, there's nothing to it.
Yes, but you don't understand fish. They're Earth people.
Yeah? Well, if they're Earth people, what are they doing down here? Where are you hiding that seaweed anyhow?
Please, Mr. Fish, don't take our seaweed. If you take it, we'll drown.
I'm on the twack. Smell's getting stronger. Uh-huh. I'm getting warmer. I know where it is.
Get out of my pocket.
This is good.
Oh, you got it, Red Lantern. I can't breathe.
Oh, quick, Billy. Give me your magic seaweed.
I'm drowning.
Here it is. Well, let me take half of it. You keep half.
Hurry. I can't hold my breath much longer.
But here, take this.
Oh. I thought for a minute I was going to drown.
Well, you almost did. You would have without the other half of Billy's magic seaweed.
This seaweed is beachy. Nice and tender. You got some more?
You get out of here.
What do you mean, get out? Didn't you say they was Earth people?
That's right.
Well, who's got a better right down here, me or them? Why, do you know what I heard what they do to us up there? They catch us on a hook, and then they cook us over a hot fire, and then they serve us with lemon. I hate lemon. And then they come down here and grab all the tenderest seaweed. Is that fair? I asked you, is that fair?
Now listen, you. You leave these children alone, or so help me, I'll thump you so black and blue all your friends will think you're a blackfish.
Oh, yeah? Wise guy, huh? Well, I'm going to go tell all my friends about this seaweed you got. Oh, boy, I never tasted nothing like it. We'll be back in time for dinner. We'll be back.
Oh, Red Lantern, I'm scared.
Gee, do you suppose they'll really try to get more seaweed from us?
Oh, don't worry about that. We'll be at the land of the lost in a few minutes now. And by the time we're ready to come back, well, he'll have forgotten all about us.
Are you sure?
Sure. Why, half the time he can't even remember what his name is.
What is his name?
Why, that's funny. I can't remember it either.
Oh, we're slowing down.
Yes, we're almost there.
But nobody ever asked us for tickets.
Well, of course not. What does anybody want with tickets? All they ever do is tear 'em up and throw 'em away. Well, here's where we get off. Watch your step now. There, that's it. Well, here we are.
My, what's that ahead of us? It looks like a heavy black curtain.
It is a curtain of seaweed. It guards the entrance to the land of the lost. It's put there to tangle up people who don't belong here.
But won't it tangle us?
Oh, no, it's a magic seaweed wall. And all you have to do is speak to it. It has ears.
It has ears? Oh, Billy, you know what he means. All walls have ears.
Sure. Now, see how it acts when I tell it what to do. Magic seaweed open wide. Let these kids and me inside.
Welcome to the land of the lost.
Who's that?
That's King Findall. You can hear him speak, but you can never see him. He rules over this land.
Welcome, Isabel and Billy. You are the first Earth people ever to visit this kingdom. The only reason you're permitted to come here is because you've saved Red Lantern's life. From now on, we grant you the privilege of coming here as often as you like. There's only one thing you must never do. You must never try to take anything back with you that you find here.
Oh, but King Findall, can't I take Henrietta, my doll, back if I find her? That's the reason I came down. She was only lost today.
No. If she's here, you can't take her away.
Well, before you worry about taking her away, let's make sure she's here.
I'll have my phenographer, Miss Spotty, check right away.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Miss Spotty, will you get me a report at once? One doll named Henrietta missing since this afternoon. What's she look like, Isabel?
Oh, she's beautiful. She has red hair, Your Majesty, real hair. And she has a green dress with white polka dots and brown eyes that move. And she's got real eyelashes, too.
Miss Spotty, missing party has red hair, brown eyes, when last seen was wearing green dress.
Yes, sir. I'll check right away.
Red Lantern, take the children wherever they want to go, and I'll send the report there as soon as I get it.
Very good, Your Majesty.
Oh, thank you for going to so much trouble, Your Majesty.
Gee, all this fuss about a doll. I don't suppose I'll ever get to see my jackknife again.
Oh, there are millions of jackknives down here, but I'll bet you never saw a whole room set with diamonds.
Real diamonds?
Well, why not real diamonds? Don't you suppose people have been losing diamonds for thousands of years? That's why we can afford to have an entrance hall set with them. Just turn right here. Now, take a look.
Oh, it's so bright. It's so bright I can hardly see.
Oh, no wonder. That diamond in the center is the brightest diamond in the world. Cleopatra dropped it in the Nile, and her divers were never able to find it. And see that big round one over there? That was once set in the forehead of a South African idol. Someday I'll tell you all about the pirate who stole it.
Pirates? See, how are we going to get across this hall? We can't walk on diamonds.
Oh, we've got plenty of them. Just pretend they're gravel and walk right over them.
Well, if you say so. But wait till I tell people I walked on real diamonds.
Oh, Red Lantern! Red Lantern! Someone's trying to fight me! Hey, you get away! Go on!
It's all right, fellas. It's all right. They're with me. And now, don't be scared, Isabel. They're only the diamond-backed terrapins who guard the entrance hall. Anyhow, here we are, right at the door of the land of the lost toys.
Oh, hear the music, Billy.
Well, let's go right in.
Oh, no. Hold on. Let me speak to the gate. Some people go barging through doors as though they had no feelings at all. But they appreciate little courtesies, too, like this. Greetings, gate. Evaporate.
Oh, look at all those toys.
It's like Christmas, only a million times better.
Or like all the birthdays and Easters in the world.
Well, I guess that's about what they were before they got down here.
Golly, Isabel, look at that hook and ladder. Why, that's bigger than Sam Blake's. And he said he had the biggest one in the world.
Where's the fire, Red Lantern? Let's go.
Oh, it's probably just the house that Jack built burning down again. Serves him right for trying to wire the place with electric eels. They're always short-circuiting.
Ooh, model airplanes, too. All kinds of them. Dozens of them. And all flying in formation.
Yes, that's Harun al-Rashid up there ahead in the first plane.
Why, I thought he flew around on a magic carpet.
Well, the moths got in the carpet, so he threw it away. This plane he has now is much faster, anyhow.
Oh, here come some toy soldiers. A whole army of them.
They've got their own band, too.
Yes, they're the Toyland Marines. They fight in the water, on the water, and over the water.
Company! Halt! Eddie! Say, Billy, doesn't that soldier look familiar? The one in command, I mean.
Yeah, kind of. Why, it looks just like... No, it can't be.
It is, too. It's Sergeant Pine. He's Sergeant Pine, Sergeant Pine.
He's the captain.
Did somebody call me? Well, I don't know. I thought you were our old wooden soldier, Sergeant Pine.
Well, I was, but I've been promoted.
Hi, Sergeant Pine.
What for the love of Mike? What are you two doing down here? My young sidekick. Are you lost, too?
No, but Henrietta is. Remember her?
Henrietta. Oh, yeah. A red-headed gal. Cute little number. Is she AWL?
No, but you must have been. Say, how'd you get down here?
Well, look, buddy, it was like this. I was the only wooden soldier left, and everybody was attacking. And then we Captain. Yeah. The general's got his eye on you. You'd better save that story for another time. Right you are. Well, I'll see you later. Company, attention! Forward, march! Oh, they're a fine body of men, they are. Oh, you should have seen them storm Peppermint Hill.
Gee, when was that?
Well, that was the time the barber of Seville tried to swipe all the peppermint sticks for barber poles.
Message for Red Lantern. Message for Red Lantern. Henrietta has been located. She's in the hospital. The doll hospital. That is all. Bye. The hospital? Oh, Red Lantern. Lantern, did you hear that?
Oh, now, there. It'll only take us a few seconds to get there. No use getting upset.
Well, let's go. Let's go right away.
Oh, shucks. I don't want to leave all these swell toys. You wouldn't have had all this trouble in the first place if you'd hung on to Henrietta.
You wouldn't have gotten down here either, Smarty.
Oh, wouldn't I?
Oh, no, now, come along, Billy. Come along. Stop crabbing. You can come back here again. Oh, here's the elevator. Now, quiet. This is a hospital, you know. Oh, here's the list of patients. Henrietta. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Hannah, Harriet. Oh, here it is. Henrietta, room 701. That's right down the hall.
I wish I had some flowers to take her.
Oh, she's probably not even conscious.
Oh, now, Billy, what did I tell you? Oh, here's the door, right here.
Henrietta.
Oh, how did you get down here?
Get down here? Why, I came to find you. What's the matter with you?
Nothing. I'm just getting a new complexion.
Why?
Well, you should have seen me when I got out of the water. Well, how did you know where to find me after I ran away?
Ran away? What do you mean ran away? You fell in the water.
Oh, of course. I fell in. Only,
Henrietta, you've got a guilty look on your face. What's this all about?
She's just played hooky, if you ask me.
No, I did not. I came down here looking for somebody.
Looking for somebody? But how did you know how to get here?
Well, I didn't know exactly, but all toys know that if they disappear, they go to the land of the lost.
Gee, there's an awful lot going on in the world that people don't know about.
Henrietta, I still don't understand. Who did you expect to find down here?
Oh, you must know who.
Oh, come on, Henrietta. Who is the guy anyway?
Oh, you know him. At least you did. He's so big and strong.
Sounds like Sailor Man.
Oh, no, it wasn't Sailor Man. You know I never took that old bundle of sawdust seriously.
Hey, I'll bet I know. I'll bet it was Sergeant Pine.
Why, Henrietta, you're blushing.
Well, I don't care if I am. Anyway, have you seen him? Do you know where he is?
Sure. We found him when we were looking for you.
And he's a captain now, too.
Ooh, he's been promoted. Oh, I always knew he'd make good. Uh-oh.
What's that?
Telephone. Excuse me a minute, will you? Hello? Yes, this is Red Lantern. Oh, all right, King Findall. Yes, I'll get on it right away. Right, goodbye. Just got a call from King Findall. I've got to start right back to Earth and check a big shipment of pins and needles.
You mean you even bother with them?
Well, sure. Haven't you ever noticed how fast they disappear the minute you drop them? That's because we pull them all down here with a magnet.
What do you want them for?
Oh, it's just one of the little services we extend to the Earth people. Otherwise, you'd be sitting on pins and needles all the time. But come on, kids, let's hurry. We've got to catch the next current back.
But Red Lantern.
Yes?
I'm worried.
You're worried?
Yes, that funny-looking fish, remember? The one who stole the seaweed?
Oh, don't worry about him. I've always found him harmless.
But he said he'd be back and bring all his friends.
He hasn't got any friends. Come on now. I won't let anything happen to you. Say goodbye to Henrietta.
Goodbye, Henrietta. I'll bring your best hat to you the next time I come.
And so we left Henrietta and traveled out through the diamond entrance hall, through the seaweed curtain, and out into the sea. We got aboard a fast current and sped back toward the tunnel leading to the lake. We hadn't been riding along for more than a few minutes when...
Red Lantern, what's that up ahead?
Why, I don't know. I don't remember ever seeing anything around here before.
It looks to me like a big school of fish.
Yes, that's probably all it is.
They're coming this way. And they're coming fast, too. Oh!
What's the matter?
That funny-looking fish is leading them. He didn't forget after all.
He's coming to get our seaweed.
Uh-oh.
Red Lantern, where are you going?
Hey, come back.
Don't run away from us now.
Come back. They'll steal our seaweed and we'll drown.
Oh, Billy, what are we going to do?
There's only one thing we can do. Try to fight them off.
Oh, but how? There are so many of them.
Hook your seaweed down as far as it'll go in your pocket. Make it hard for them to get it.
Okay.
Give 'em everything you got, Isabel. We gotta fight 'em off.
Here they are, gang. They got the seaweed in their pockets.
I told you we shouldn't have trusted that Red Lantern in the first place. He gets us into a spot like this and then runs off and leaves us.
I never thought he'd do a thing like this.
Here they come.
In their pockets, gang. I'm telling you, it's the best seaweed you ever tasted.
Take that, funny face.
Look out, Billy. There's one sneaking up behind you.
There. That'll take care of you for a while. Thanks, Isabel.
Oh, Billy, there's a whole bunch of them after me. They're all jumping on me at once.
Wait. Ooh, they're ganging up on me, too.
That's the way.
Take that.
Surround them. Come on. We'll get that seaweed.
Oh, Billy, look. There are more fish coming.
Oh, slub. Gee, Isabel, I guess we're goners.
Look at how big they are, too. When they get here, we'll never be able to fight them off.
Hey, wait a minute. Those aren't any fish that are coming. They look more like airplanes.
And Captain Pine is riding in the first one.
Take that.
Oh, Billy, we're saved. We're saved.
Yeah, save nothing. If they shoot at us, they'll get you, too.
Look, they're bailing out with parachutes. And they got machine guns, too.
Billy, you don't suppose they will start shooting?
Pick off the fish around the edges, men. You'll have to mop up the center with bayonets.
They're surrounding us, fellas. We gotta think fast.
Company A, fix bayonet. Charge!
Hey, I'm gonna use Swagity. Swag... I got an idea.
Company B, attack the left flank.
If I can just get in that little girl's pocket where the seaweed is, we'll have 'em at our mercy. Why, from inside there, I can dictate the piece.
Oh, help, everybody. Help. He's in my pocket. The fish is in my pocket.
Oh, can't you throw 'em out?
Oh, he's snapping at my fingers.
I'll bite 'em off, too, if you don't keep 'em out. Now, you listen to me, you two. Call off them weathernecks, or I'm gonna gobble this seaweed up so fast.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. I'll never get back if you do.
Hold still, Isabel. I'll get him. I'll get him out of there. I don't care how much he bites.
Oh, no, you don't, mister. I've got the seaweed in my mouth, and if you want me to swallow it, just make one whap for this pocket.
Oh, he means it, Billy. He means it. Leave him alone.
But gee, Isabel, how do you know what he wants us to do?
Just call off them marines, and I'll let you have your old seaweed to get back home with.
Captain Pine! Captain Pine!
Over here, Billy. Over here. What can I do for you?
Call up your marines, quick. The fish is going to eat the magic seaweed if you don't.
Gee, this is the first good fight I've been in since the Battle of Gum Drop Bridge.
Can't help it. He's got us.
Cease firing, then. Stand by, fellas. This may be a trick.
It's no trick. Let us out safe. That's all we ask.
That's all you'll get. Open ranks, men. Let 'em through.
Goodbye, kids. Next time you come down, I'll be seeing you.
Well, if you know what's good for you, you'll get yourself a berth in some other ocean. And just don't ever get lost, brother, because if you turn up at the land of the lost, what'll happen to you shouldn't happen to a dogfish.
Oh, Red Lantern, where have you been?
What happened to you? That's a fine thing, running out on us just when we were being attacked.
Oh, running out on you? Say, how do you suppose these Marines happened to come to your rescue?
Oh, did you get them?
Why, sure. When I saw all those fish coming, I knew that we three couldn't handle them, so I swam down to the bottom of the ocean, found a shell telephone, and called up Captain Pine. I came right back with him, and I've been up in one of those planes directing the attack. And now that it's all over, well, if you don't mind, suppose I take you home and get back to my pins and needles.
So we said farewell to Captain Pine and to all his brave wooden soldiers and continued on our way through the tunnel, into the lake, and back to the shore. As we stepped out of the water, Red Lantern said,
Well, I must be going now, but don't forget, I'll come back to take you to the land of the lost again.
When will you be back, Red Lantern?
Well, now let me see. Tomorrow's out. Got a date to go to the codfish ball. Thursday? No. Friday? Oh, no. Any fish that sticks his head out of water on a Friday is likely to end up as a blue plate lunch. I'll tell you what. Suppose we make it a week from today.
Next Tuesday?
That's right. Same time, same place.
It's a date.
Yes, it's a date for
for next Tuesday at the same time, at the same place on your dial. So don't forget to be with us next week when Isabel Manning Houston again takes you to the land of the lost.
I'm the Comic Weekly Man, the jolly Comic Weekly Man, and I'm here to read the funnies to you happy boys and honeys. Yes, boys and girls, it's Comic Weekly time, and here I come, right into your house to bring a little fun and happiness. Right out of the pages of Puck the Comic Weekly, straight into your living room, your friend the Comic Weekly Man, the jolly Comic Weekly Man. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Well, little Miss Honey, how are you today?
Warm. How are you?
Hot.
I'm sorry. I wish I could do something about it.
Well, the only thing you can do with the weather is to live with it.
Well, I think I could live with it easier if you'd please read the funnies to me.
Puck the Comic Weekly?
Yes.
Very well, I will, in just a moment. But first, here's that nice man with something interesting to say. Now, here we go with Puck the Comic Weekly. And at the top of the first page...
Snookums, snookums, snookums.
Well, since you're excited about that, we'll read Snookums, Snookums, Snookums.
Magic words for the music, please.
Very well, my lady. Diddly-da, diddly-doo, wake-a-mack-a-mookums. Let's have a little tune for little Snookums. Rosie tells Archie that Snookums isn't in the house, and she wonders if Snookums might be lost. Archie says, "Oh, gosh, my baby, I'll go look for him right away." And by the time you can say, come out, wherever you are, Archie's running off down the street yelling, "Snookums! Snookums! Can you hear me? Answer, Daddy! Snookums!" Last picture, top row, he finds two men, and one says, "Hey, what's the matter, pal? Lose something?" Archie answers excitedly, "No, my baby is lost. Will you help me look for him?" So the men join the hunt. First picture, next row. A dozen men, including the policeman in the corner, are helping Archie look for Snookums. Archie yells, "Snookums! Where are you?" Just around the corner, little Snookums is toddling along. A little boy runs past, and Snookums asks,
"What is everybody looking for?"
And the little boy answers, "Our little boy's lost." Just then, Archie comes around the corner. He sees Snookums and exclaims, "Snookums! There you are!" And Snookums answers,
"Yes, Snookums helping to look for a lost boy."
And Archie goes,
Wasn't that funny?
Yes, yes.
Isn't that a funny look on Archie's face?
I think I'd look like that, too, if I learned someone I was looking for himself without knowing who it was he was looking for.
Yes, I would, too.
Yes. Well, now what?
Oh, now, would you please turn over the page and read Flash Gordon? Because that bad man Zinn has captured Flash.
And now Zinn is going to have Flash put into the smoke chamber. And when Flash breathes the smoke, he will no longer be able to think for himself.
And Zinn will be able to make Flash do anything he wants him to do.
Yes. So let's learn now how Zinn's plans work out. So here we go over to page 2 with Flash Gordon. Rig-a-dig-a-doon-doon, Saskimatash. Let's have music for heroic Flash. Flash, crushed by the false report of Dale's death, is marched toward the liquigen gas chamber. Zinn sneers. "When you come out, you'll be an automaton, blindly obedient to my orders." Rubia hurries down to bid Flash farewell. She tells him again that Dale is dead, which is not true, and she says that she loves him too much to have him become a zombie. And then she hands him a little gadget to put in his nose, saying that if he breathes through these filters, the smoke will not affect him. To save himself from becoming Zinn's slave, Flash accepts Rubia's help. And last picture, top row, he is herded into the atomic gas chamber with a group of Zinn's men, all doomed to a living death. The door closes, and the gas is turned on in the chamber. First picture, next row, Flash watches the others carefully. He sees a tragic change come over the men as they breathe the subtly poisonous fumes. Flash studies their actions. He must imitate them exactly. or risks some new cruelty by Zinn. Then he puts the filters in his nose and pretends to inhale the gas. And as he does, he wonders whether the filters will really save him from the fate that has fallen on the other men. A little later, the men, now newly made automatons, men who walk like little dolls that are wound up, march out of the gas chamber. They are taken outside, last picture, where Zinn and Rubia are waiting in Zinn's armored car. Zinn beckons to Flash and commands his new slave.
Flash, march behind me.
The car slowly drives off. Flash tries to copy the rigid mechanical walk of the zombies as he follows Zinn's car. Rubia stares at him fearfully, not sure whether he's really man or machine.
I hope that those filters that Flash put in his nose worked. Do you think that they did?
Well, I certainly hope so. And next week, I'm sure we should find out whether they did or not.
And then we'll find out what Zinn's going to try to make Flash do.
Yes.
Oh, I can hardly wait. This is getting so exciting.
Well, sometimes we have to wait for the most exciting things.
Yes, isn't that awful?
Uh-huh. But look across the page.
Oh, yes, Dick's Adventures. And something exciting is going to happen there, too, because last week Dick, who was with Paul Revere in the early days of America, came back from a secret meeting with a lot of men, and he has some plan, and I'm anxious to find out.
Yes, the English are trying to make the Americans buy tea that is very highly taxed.
That means it costs more than it should, and that isn't fair.
No, it is not fair, and the Americans don't want to buy the tea. So let's try to find out now what this mysterious plan is.
Oh, goody.
So here we go with Dick's Adventures. Say the magic words with me. Rickety-pack, kazak, kazik. Let's have music for Adventurous Dick. Dick is in Paul Revere's home again. Dinner is being served. As Paul and Dick begin to eat, last picture top row, Paul says to his wife, "'Tis a lovely dinner, my sweet, but where's the tea? Pray fetch the tea." Dick looks up in surprise because he thought that the Americans had agreed not to buy the tea from the English, and by refusing to buy it, forced the English to take off the high tax. Dick exclaims,
"Tea?"
Paul's wife is just as surprised, and she tells him first picture next row that she can't understand men, that Paul has told her time and time again to have no tea in the house at all while the tax is on it. Paul smiles and says, "Tonight we want the king's tea, eh, Dick?" He gets up, puts on his hat and coat, followed by Dick, and Paul says grimly, "We'll settle this matter of tea at the Green Dragon. Come." Last picture of the row, Paul and Dick are seated at a table in the corner of the Green Dragon Inn, a favorite gathering place of the men of Boston. In the Green Dragon Inn, no tea is tasted, but it is not neglected. To the table of Dick and Paul, one by one, the men of Boston come. As they stop at the table, instructions are given to each of them, and the instructions are always the same. Finally, the last man approaches the table, first picture bottom row, and Dick whispers to him,
"Tea party tonight, Ben, at Griffin's Wharf, Indians only. Coming?"
And the man named Ben replies,
"I'll be there with a tomahawk."
Leaving the Green Dragon, Dick and Paul Revere return home once more to carry out the next step in their plan. A short time later, last picture, two Mohawk braves carrying tomahawks and wearing the full dress of Indians slip noiselessly from Paul Revere's house. A man standing in the shadow across the street watches silently as the two Indians come out of the house where Paul Revere lives. A grim look settles over his face.
Why do you suppose they've dressed up like Indians again?
Now they're on their way to carry out the plan that the men have agreed on.
Who is that man that sees them? The one with the grim look on his face.
I'm afraid all of this is something we'll have to wait until next week to find out.
Oh, wait. Always wait.
But the good things are worth waiting for.
Yes, I know. So I'll wait. I'll wait.
Goody. And just for that, I'll read Rusty Riley for you. Here he is, right underneath Dick's Adventures.
Oh, I'm so anxious to see what's going to happen to that sneaky Taffy Allardyce, who's Mr. Miles' nephew, because Tex knows that Taffy put the dope in Hillbilly's feed and it made him sick.
Yes, Tex has discovered enough of what's going on to suspect Taffy, and he's speaking to Mr. Miles about his suspicions.
So quick, Reed, let's find out what happens.
Very well. Here we go with Rusty Riley. Gallop and run till the road is dusty. Give us music for his horse and Rusty. Mr. Miles has just heard Tex's suspicions of what's going on, and he exclaims,
Tex, I find it very difficult to believe my nephew, Allardyce, would be guilty of giving poisonous food to a horse.
Tex replies,
Okay, boss, I can't prove it, but sure as shooting, somebody's after Big Blaze. Why, if Blaze had been in his own stall, he'd have got that dose instead of Hillbilly. It's only a week till the Selby Cup. Hey, couldn't we take Blaze to the track now?
Mr. Miles thinks for a second and then replies,
I'll speak to Colonel Adams, the owner of Cedar Point Track.
Tex reaches for his hat, saying,
That's plumb good sense, boss. I'll go along, and by jingoes, I'll sleep in Big Blaze's stall if need be.
Mr. Miles finds Colonel Adams, owner of Cedar Point Track, near a huge tree. He walks up to him and says,
Oh, excuse me, Colonel. May I have a word with you? It's about my Selby Cup entry, Big Blaze.
Colonel Adams replies,
Why, of course, Quentin.
Goldie, who is Taffy Allardyce's wife, sees the two men talking. Quietly, she slips over behind the tree to hear what's being said. Last picture, top row, she overhears Mr. Miles say,
I wonder if you could let me have quarters for Blaze at the track a little ahead of time. I'd like to send him over tomorrow morning.
Colonel Adams replies,
Why, certainly. You may have number 4 and row B.
Hearing this, Goldie quietly slips away without being seen. And the plan which Tex wanted to keep secret is known now by the very person who is scheming to bring trouble into Rusty's life. A little later, as Rusty is playing with the hunting dogs, Tex tells him, first picture, bottom row,
Rusty, the boss wants you to clean up and come to the house. He wants you to help with the wraps and things at the dinner party.
Rusty replies,
Oh, sure, Tex. Soon as I put these dogs in the run.
That night, after all of the guests have arrived for the party, Rusty has a few minutes to himself. He sits in a big chair in front of the fireplace, saying to himself,
Well, I guess all the people are here now. Think I'll just curl up in this big chair till it's time for him to leave.
Suddenly, he hears voices behind him. He recognizes them as Goldie and Taffy Allardyce, the two schemers. They don't see Rusty in the chair. Rusty overhears Goldie tell Taffy that Big Blaze is going to be taken to the Cedar Point track tomorrow morning. Rusty hears Taffy exclaim, last picture,
Good night. That settles it. I'll have to finish him off tonight, somehow.
Rusty's eyes open in horror at these words, and he knows he must move quickly if Blaze is to be saved.
Ooh, I just hope they don't see Rusty there, because if they know that he heard them, they may do something terrible to him. Kidnap him, maybe.
Well, let's hope not.
Well, I just hope that Mr. Miles learns that his nephew's really a bad old mean person, and time for him to do something about
Well,
it.
next week we'll find that out, I'm sure. That is, if you'll be here.
Oh, I wouldn't miss it.
Fine. And now would you like to miss Donald Duck?
Oh, I should say not. Donald Duck is one of my favorites.
Well, then turn over the page, and there he is right at the top, and I'll read Donald in a minute. But first, here's that nice man with something interesting to say. Now, here we go again with Puck the Comic Weekly, and on top of page 4, Donald Duck. Say the magic words with me. Squeejum, squeejum, squiddy chicka chack. Let's have music, spin a quack quack. Donald passes a nursery, which is a place where they sell flowers and plants. He sees an ivy plant on a table, and a sign which reads, Climbing Ivy, 50 cents. Donald exclaimed,
Just what I need for my pooch.
And next picture, he has planted the ivy beside his porch, aiming it so it'll climb up the porch post. And he says,
There. Now in a few weeks, it'll cover the pooch.
2 weeks later, Donald takes a look at his ivy plant and sees that instead of climbing up the post, it has fallen over backwards, flat on the ground. And Donald exclaims,
Huh, that's funny.
So he straightens the ivy up and ties the ivy to the post. And then says,
There, now she'll climb.
2 weeks later, last picture top row, Donald takes another look at his ivy. He finds it has grown twice as much, but instead of climbing up the post, it has fallen over backwards again and climbed right down to the ground. And by the time you can go, Donald is back at the nursery, first picture bottom row, with the plant, and he says to the man he bought it from,
Look, pal, you sure this stuff is climbing ivy?
Quite sure. What's your trouble?
I wanted to climb my porch, and it won't climb.
Well, that's easy, sir. You need a trellis.
So the man points out a trellis, which is some pieces of wood put together sort of like a ladder. And the man says,
Now here's a nice one, only $5.
So Donald decides the ivy will surely climb up that because it has something to hang on to. And he exclaims,
I'll take it.
And by the time you can say, Shinny up my trellis, Mr. Ellis, Donald has planted the ivy beside his porch again and winds it around the trellis to give it a good start so it'll climb up, and then waits happily for it to grow. 1 month later, last picture, Donald takes a look at his ivy, and he's amazed to see that instead of climbing up the trellis, the ivy has crawled right through it at the bottom and then up the porch that Donald tried to make it climb in the first place. And Donald exclaims,
What?
Oh, poor Donald. Everything goes wrong for him.
Yes, no wonder he's annoyed after paying $5 for a trellis which the ivy doesn't want to climb.
Yes, but I just love Donald Duck because he's so funny.
Oh, look, right underneath Donald Duck.
Oh, it's Roy Rogers, my favorite cowboy.
Mine, too.
I'm anxious to have you read that because just as we left Roy last week, he was trying to find out who set fire to the prairie and all the telegraph poles.
And while Roy was looking at some strange footprints, his friend Brad went behind some rocks and then shouted for help.
So please, quick read so we can find out what's the trouble.
Very well. Here we go with Roy Rogers, King of the Cowboys. Hi-yip-hi-yo. Now here we go with Roy and Trigger. Hi-yip-hi-yo. Roy and IQ Theorem run to answer Brad's call for help. Brad yells, Help! My eye! Something blinded me! Roy runs up and asks, Well, what was it, Brad? Brad, holding his hands over his eyes, replies, I spotted some pole timber, and then I walked out of the narrow pass and a flash of light hit me. Roy exclaims, Well, that's just what happened to that blinded cowpoke I found up here. Just then it begins to rain. Roy helps Brad under a ledge of rock, saying, Here, sit under the ledge here, Brad. I'm going back up there. Then Roy turns and walks off, saying, Reckon it's my turn to see what's on the other side of that unlucky pass. IQ Theorem, the investigator from the city, warns,
Careful, Rogers. If you get blinded, how will we get back to camp?
Roy replies, Well, don't worry. Trigger knows the way. And as he walks between the rocks, last picture top row, he thinks to himself, Hey, this rain will sure wash out those funny sandal tracks we spotted back on the trail. First picture bottom row, Roy stops suddenly and exclaims, Looks like something's moving up there on that ridge. But I can't see much in this rain. Roy isn't wrong, for behind the boulder, before the cave, the old hermit is watching. And he exclaims, Yeah, I thought I scared off those telegraph fellers when I blinded that big one. But there's another one coming up. He trots in the cave after his rifle, saying, I can't blind this fella 'cause it's raining, but I can shoot him, this snooping varmint. And he trots back again, carefully watches Roy and exclaims,
I ain't letting nobody snoop around trying to find out what starts all the fires in the valley.
Roy steps out from behind a rock and starts to move up the hill. Suddenly, a bullet goes through Roy's hat. Roy exclaims, last picture, "Wow, that was too close." And the old hermit exclaims,
"Missed, blast it, but next time I won't."
Oh, my. I hope Roy gets behind the rocks fast because next time maybe that hermit won't miss.
No, that hermit is up there in the cave, and it'll be pretty hard to get at him.
I can hardly wait to see if they will capture
Well,
him.
we'll find out next week.
Oh, I certainly hope so.
Now I think it's time for...
Dagwood and Blondie, I hope.
Absolutely right. So if you'll pick up the first page of the second section of Puck the Comic Weekly, we'll read Dagwood and Blondie. Ramafoo, ramafum, zim, zam, zombie. Conjure me music for Dagwood and Blondie. Dagwood, who's at his office, is talking to the bookkeeper named Eddie, a tall, skinny, worried-looking fellow. Eddie says, "I'm terribly nervous lately." Dagwood replies,
You know, you ought to get married, Eddie.
Eddie holds out his hand and exclaims,
Here, look. See how my hand shakes.
Dagwood replies,
Yeah, you look like you're waving at someone. You know, you need a little wife to take care of you.
Last picture, top row, Eddie takes some medicine and swallows it. And he exclaims,
I jump when the phone rings.
Dagwood says,
Eddie, you need peace and contentment. The pitter-patter of tiny feet around your house.
First picture, next row, Eddie says thoughtfully,
You're winning me over, Dagwood.
Dagwood gives him a pat on the back, saying,
Come home to dinner with me tonight and see for yourself how serene and blissful married life can be.
Eddie replies,
All right, I'll call up the boys and tell them I'm not going out with them tonight.
And it's decided that Eddie is to come home with Dagwood for dinner. Meanwhile, someone's been playing tricks on Blondie. The doorbell is rung, and when she answers it, there's no one there. Cookie tells Blondie, first picture, next row, that it's the new kids up the street who ring doorbells and then run. And that gives Blondie an idea. Well, at this moment, Dagwood is on the way home with his friend Eddie. And he points out all the people in the neighborhood who are mowing lawns, clipping hedges, and enjoying life. Dagwood says,
Look at all these happy, contented husbands, Eddie.
Eddie replies mournfully,
Yeah, I'm beginning to realize all I've missed by being single.
Then they ring Dagwood's doorbell, last picture of the row. And Dagwood says,
The peace and joy of married life is all you need, Eddie.
And first picture, bottom row, the door opens, and three horrible-looking people jump at them, yelling, and Eddie disappears down the street like a shot. As Dagwood, who has fallen over on his back, looks up dazed, Blondie sticks her head out from under a sheet and says,
We were trying to scare some fresh little kids who were ringing our doorbell.
And Alexander exclaims,
Yeah, your friend ran away, Pop.
Dagwood shakes his head, wondering what has happened to him. Meanwhile, last picture, down at the pool hall, Eddie rushes in and says to his friends,
Don't let me get married, boys.
Wasn't that funny?
Yes. After all of Dagwood's talk, Blondie's little game changed Eddie's mind about getting married.
Isn't that silly? Because dressing up like ghosts is lots of fun.
Yes, Eddie should try it sometime.
Yes, he should.
Well, now it's time for Prince Valiant.
Oh, goody.
So go past the Comic Weekly Club, which I hope you look at when we get through.
Oh, I certainly will, because I just love the puzzles and games in the Comic Weekly Club.
And then go past Buzz Sawyer and the Phantom over to the last page, and there he is, Prince Valiant in the days of King Arthur. Hackett, Brackett, Grey Malkin, and Quince. Music romantic for a fair, fair prince. King Hap-Atla couldn't capture King Agwar's castle, so the two kings are now having a peace conference. Alita had come in and told the men to stop their arguing and decide never to have war again, so that the women and the children could enjoy life safely and peacefully. Then Alita left the conference. All she wanted was a healthy, happy place in which to bring up her baby, and her quiet words were like a whiplash that stripped away their arrogance. King Agua conceals a smile. He knows his enemies are blustering because they think his defenses are weak. Elita's words have shown them how desperate is their position. By this time, last picture top row, Hap Atla's wife, Queen Jan, is now completely under Elita's spell and readily agrees when Elita asks her to go into the castle and see her new gowns. So they leave the children with the men, and the two women go toward the castle. First picture next row, Hap Atla looks up in time to see them entering the castle. He leaps to his feet and shouts, "Treachery! Queen Jan has been taken prisoner!" King Agua chuckles.
"I'll be hostage for her safe return. But if you have sufficient foolhardy courage to meddle in women's affairs, you may take my seal ring and follow." So last picture of the row, under the protection of the ring, Hap Atla enters the stronghold he could not invade by force. Once inside, first picture bottom row, he has a chance to notice that, though not a soldier is to be seen, the war machines are well oiled, stacks of weapons abound, and the rustle and murmur of many men can be heard. And then, last picture, he is led to the Lady Elita's apartment, into which he bursts angrily, and then stops. There's an instant of embarrassed silence, because he finds his wife trying on one of Elita's nice gowns. And the women are very angry that even he, a king, should come to their room. And believe me, thereafter he wishes he had paid more heed to King Agua's warning to leave the women alone.
Well, it certainly serves him right. If he will just keep his nose out of things, these women will settle everything in a nice, peaceful way.
Yes, so far I think Elita has proven that she's right.
Yes, she has. And I hope he's learned his lesson.
Well, next week we'll find out. Now, that's all the time I have. But before I go, here's that nice man with something interesting to say. Well, honey, and all you boys and girls, I've got to go now.
All right, Mr. Comic Weekly Man, but I'll be waiting for you next week.
Okay, that's a date, and a date with all you boys and girls. Be sure to meet me with our little friend, Miss Honey, next week when I read Puck the Comic Weekly. For I'm the Comic Weekly Man, the jolly Comic Weekly Man. I'll be back to read the funnies to you happy boys and honeys. Don't forget, boys and girls, see you all next week. Your friend, the Comic Weekly Man, the jolly Comic Weekly Man.
Presenting the adventures of Jungle Jim. The Adventures of Jungle Jim, broadcast weekly over this station, are dramatized from the full-color action pictures to be found in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest comic supplement that comes to you each week with your Hearst Sunday newspapers. Join the 11 million adults and the 6 million youngsters who enjoy the world's best artists featured in every issue of the Comic Weekly, which comes to you with your Hearst Sunday newspaper. The episode concerning Bull Thorson and his band of spies is finished. Bull is dead, and all his aides are either with him or behind bars for a long time. The fast-recovering Colo, along with Kitty and Lil, accompany Jim back to Puerto Rico. Luxurious, lazy days of complete rest are ahead for all. But after a week of this, Jim is restless again, and probably due to the bickering of the two girls, decides to bid both goodbye by letter and quietly slip away on a steamer for the Far East. Their reactions are identical. Anger, not directed at Jim, but at each other. A very stormy scene is interrupted by the arrival of an old friend of Kitty's who traveled halfway around the world to ask her to marry him. She does, leaving a very lonesome but nonetheless determined Shanghai Lil.
Morning, Mr. Frail.
Morning. I want to see the commander.
Mr. Frail, you see, it's awfully early yet. He's usually knee-deep in mail and reports up to 11 o'clock, and it's only 9:30 now. Could you...
I couldn't. I've got to see him right away.
Well, I'll tell him, but Well, you know how it is.
Well, this is so important, I'll just have to take my chances. Him and his reports. I've got to find out where Jim went. That's more important than all of his old mail.
This way, Mr. Vril. The commandant will see you at once.
Thank you.
My dear Mr. Vril, good morning.
Good morning, Commander.
Well, to what do we owe such a pleasant surprise as your early visit?
Ah, Commander, I want some information. I want it desperately. And I think you can give it to me.
Well, fire away. We've got all sorts of information. Well, now, come on. What is it?
Where did Jim Bradley go?
Why, didn't he tell you?
Do you know, Commander?
Well, you certainly get down to cases in a hurry. We don't usually find such refreshing directness in women.
Maybe I'm prying into official business. If I am, just say the word and I'll withdraw my question.
No, I can't say Jim's whereabouts are concerned with any official business to my knowledge.
Ah, then he's not working on a case for the Navy Department.
No, he is not.
And you don't want to tell me anything about him?
Well, now, let me think. Didn't Jim send you a letter explaining everything?
He sent me a letter explaining exactly nothing. He just said, so long till we meet again. Or words to that effect.
Well, now, isn't that strange?
Yeah.
Told me he was going to give you the whole story. And, frankly, I couldn't say for sure just where he hid out for. Sailed yesterday.
Well, yesterday, only 2 boats left here.
Oh, I'm sorry, my dear. There were 3. One for the States, one to South Africa, and one through the canal.
Oh, and he could have been on any one of the 3.
Right.
Well, that's that. I guess it's a stone wall. And my head isn't exactly hard enough to go butting into it. Thank you for everything, Commander.
Oh, not at all. You're welcome, my dear. By the way,
Yeah?
Jim did say he wanted a long rest and he was going home.
He said that?
Uh-huh.
He used that expression, home?
Yeah, just that way.
Where's that ship through the canal headed for?
Why, the Far East. China, India, etc.
Is it stopping at Singapore?
Well, of course, yes.
Well, there's the answer to my question.
Huh?
It's the only place on this well-trodden globe that big lummox calls home, Singapore.
Well, now, that is interesting.
Oh, I'll bet you knew it all the time.
No, I've tried not to hold out any information.
Well, thanks a million, Admiral. And you're going into my memory book of favorite persons near the top of the list. Goodbye.
Goodbye. You are in a hurry. Good voyage anyway, my dear.
Give my best to everyone. I'm off. Say, could you tell me when's the next ship sailing for the East?
The next one east is Saturday to Cape Town.
I don't mean East. I said the East. The Orient.
Oh, how silly of me. Let me see. Nothing for 1 month. Just one sailed yesterday.
A whole month? Uh-oh.
Yes.
Oh, that'll never do. No, it's completely useless.
What is your exact destination?
Singapore.
Singapore?
Yes.
Unos momento. Honolulu, Batavia, Sandakan, Singapore. Oh, you can leave right away.
For where?
There's a boat in 2 hours for Chile.
Well, who wants to go there?
Maybe I don't explain myself good. You go to Panama City, through canal, change to fast boat for Honolulu, and there you catch up to the one which left yesterday for Singapore.
You mean I can catch the one that left here yesterday?
Yes. Now let me check once more. The Panama on the 10th, Honolulu on the 15th. The other one gets there on the 14th. Sails again on the 16th. You even have 1 day over in Hawaii.
Well, curl my hair and call me Snooky. You're the best news I've had in weeks. Can you give me those reservations at once?
I can book you through to Honolulu. But from there to Singapore, you'll have to take your chances on accommodation.
Well, don't worry about that. I've slept under deck awnings before. Why, I can even camp out in a lifeboat. When does the ship leave here?
At noon.
I'll be on at 11 o'clock, and I'll take any reservation you can make. Send the tickets up to my hotel.
While Lil was trying to solve the mystery of Jim's destination, he was taking his early morning turn around the deck of the vessel bound for Singapore in company with a plantation owner from Hawaii.
Oh, what a glorious sunrise. So many years since I've been in the States, I'd almost forgotten the lovely things I'd left behind.
Anxious to get back to the islands?
Yes. Frankly, I wish this boat were possessed of 7-league boots. You see, I've become a grandfather since I've been here. Named after me, too.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Thanks.
I'm rather anxious to get back east myself, but not for the same reason.
Oh, you headed for the island?
No, Singapore.
Been there before?
It seems to me I spent half my life there. Actually, only a few years. But I've come to look upon it as home, and whenever I want a real rest, and that's why I'm heading there now, why, it's the only place in the world for me.
Singapore, James Bradley. Strange coincidence of a name and a place, but, it couldn't be.
What couldn't be?
Just thinking of a man I've never met to whom I almost owe my life. Certainly everything I own in this world. Very interesting story. Fellow they call Jungle Jim Bradley.
Oh, yes?
I have large shipping interests in the Orient, and a few years ago, a business rival, to get control of our lines, set up a group of pirates to destroy our fleet. Nearly did it, too, except for this fellow Bradley. Most mysterious man I ever heard of.
Oh, not so mysterious. Wong brought him into that case.
Well, how do you know? You do know Wong, then?
You bet I do.
And you're that Bradley?
Yes, and you're the J.T. Williamson who hired me.
Well, of all the surprises I've met in a lifetime of them, well, this is the most unusual. Gosh, I am glad to meet you. Let me shake your hand. Jungle Jim Bradley. Well, I am glad to meet you.
Me also, sir. Mighty glad.
You've got to stop over and visit with us.
Well, we'll be in Hawaii for a day.
A day? Why, man, you're welcome for a month, a year if you want to.
Oh, no, thanks, Mr. Williamson. I'm heading for Singapore with no stopover.
Wait till I tell Martha. She's Mrs. Williamson. She'll be delighted. I'll go right away and tell her. Will you have breakfast with us?
Well, sure, I'll be glad to.
All right. See you in half an hour. Wait till I tell Martha.
Well, it's not only a small world, but a small ship. Of course, it could be worse. Instead of talking about an old case, he might have brought up a new one. But that's the last thing I want for a long, long time. Any kind of a case. This is my exit here.
Don't hit me again. Keep your hands off me, you dirty coward.
Look, you. There's certain things no woman can do or say to me, see? And you know what they are, see?
Oh, I will kill you for this someday. Let go of me.
Pardon me. Am I intruding?
Who are you? Yes, you are. You're butting into private business. Now scram if you know what's good for you. Come on, you get back into that stateroom.
No, never.
Get back in there or I'll take you in pieces.
Let go of me. You're hurting me. Save me, mister, please.
Come on. Cut it, I say.
Hey, you let go of my arm. Let go, I say.
You release the lady and I'll let go of you.
All right.
That's better.
Now, what do you want?
I don't want a thing. Your actions brought this on, not mine. People don't just go around hitting people. Some of us don't like to see it. Understand?
Why don't you take your ugly puss out of my business and mind your own affairs?
Thank you, mister. Pay no attention to him.
Well, I'd be glad to if I thought he'd leave you alone.
You're looking for trouble, guy, and I'll guarantee to furnish a lot of it for you, so scram.
Don't talk to him like that. He's only doing what any man would do. You wouldn't understand that.
Oh, so you're interested in this guy, too? Oh. Just one more boyfriend on your list. Now I'm really going to teach you a lesson. You've been getting away with too much.
Yeah. You will you? Take that and that. Oh.
Well, you seem to be awfully thick. See if you can understand this.
Oh. So you hit me when I ain't looking, huh? Why, you big bum.
Oh, that's the way you want to fight. Okay, buddy, you asked for it. Come on. Come on, get up and fight. Well, you asked for it, so here it comes to you now, buddy.
Oh, now you did it. What did you have to hit him so hard for? Maybe you killed him.
Well, I didn't mean to hurt him too much.
Well, you did. Oh, you're just like all men, pushing people around just 'cause you're stronger and can get away with it.
Now, my dear madam, I'm sorry. Maybe I should have left you two alone.
Don't you, my dear me?
Okay, Toots. Next time you're taking a boxing lesson, don't call me. Just call a cop. Goodbye. Goodbye. Boy, oh, boy. Love must be a wonderful thing. But I don't get it. And if that's it, I hope I never find out.
Oh. What hit me? Who did this to me? Oh. I remember that big guy. He did it. Yeah, and you put him up to it.
They should have killed you for being such a fool, creating such a disturbance over nothing, just because you're jealous, and for no reason either.
What's on between you and that Rover boy?
There you go again. What's on between us? I'm Bergen, and he's my Charlie McCarthy.
Yeah?
Yeah, stupid. He's a gentleman, that's what he is. But you wouldn't know about that. If you ever lay a finger on me again, I'm going to go to him and tell him everything. You hear? Everything.
You do, and I'll throw you overboard. I'll throw you both overboard, understand? And again, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't have to.
Did Jim just happen into a lover's quarrel, or is something else much more sinister brewing? Don't miss the next exciting episode in the adventures of Jungle Jim. Remember, you can follow these adventures in the full-color action pictures to be found in the Comic Weekly, the world's greatest comic supplement containing the best full-color adventure and comic pictures. Remember, no other comic supplement can give you the top names of Cartoonland like the all-star favorites to be found in the Comic Weekly. Why, the whole family follows the fun and frolics of Jiggs and Maggie, the Little King, the immortal Donald Duck, as well as the exciting adventures of Jungle Jim and Flash Gordon. Join the 11 million adults and the 6 million youngsters who every week find the greatest of home entertainment in the Comic Weekly, which comes to you with your Hearst Sunday newspaper.